The Texas State Fair creates a uniquely frenzied backdrop from one of the great rivalries in sports. Oklahoma versus Texas, the 119th edition of the Red River rivalry. And this one feels as important as any of them. We'll get things cranked up from the Cotton Bowl after this message and a word from your local ABC station.
This is what you've been waiting for. This is what it's all about.
The rivalry, you look at 100 years of it, there's a lot of hate and heart for each other.
Both teams undefeated. I don't think it gets any bigger and better than this.
Hey, cool. I hit it every week.
Our guys are ready for that challenge. It's going to be a good one for sure.
The spotlight of college football is on the Red River rivalry. It's something that we don't take lightly.
This is what we do. This is what we're on now.
At the Cotton Bowl for a precious day in college football. The 119th Red River rivalry. Here come the Oklahoma Sooners, 5-0 in a rebuilding year, year 2 under Brent Venables. Not thinking about the pain of last year's shutout here at the hands of the Longhorns. Underdogs today for this Texas team, also 5-0. It's a business-like team, says Steve Sarkisian. They keep their emotions in check, but they've already passed one massive test on the road this season, a resounding win over the Crimson Tide in Tuscaloosa. Ja'Tavion Sanders, number 0, looks healthy and ready. That's good news for the Longhorns fans, their talented tight end. Fan base is beyond excited. Both feel good about where their football teams are, but they can't feel great because they know the challenge that awaits on the other side of this fabled stadium today. Absolutely unique. So sit back and savor the next few hours. And welcome to the All-State Red River rivalry on ABC, presented by Head & Shoulders. And welcome. I'm Chris Fowler. Kirk Herbstreit making his way up here from the game day set. Halle Rowe joins us on the field. You know, every one of these games is precious, but when these teams are undefeated and they have championship dreams, it just feels a little bit bigger and more important. And that's what we got here today. Two football teams that are really complete. You've got two quarterbacks, and Dillon Gabriel for Oklahoma, Brent Venables for Texas, playing at a very high level and surrounded by playmakers who like their matchups against the opposing defensive backs. And then, of course, there's the all-important ferocity of the trenches when these two teams meet. The line of scrimmage very often decides things. There is Gabriel, his 43rd start, but this is the biggest moment of his career. Couldn't go a year ago. Concussion protocol knocked him out. And the man from Hawaii, the lefty who can spin the ball so beautifully, has been in the zone so far this season. Well, it's been a dozen years since these teams were undefeated, and since '55, it's exactly dead even. 33 wins apiece. 5-0 for the first time since '08. That was a memorable season for both programs. Dallas has hosted the last 95 years. This is the final chapter, of course, as Big 12 Conference are both off to the SEC next season. Halle Rowe has a ringside seat for this one. She's with Steve Sarkisian.
Well, Coach, there's been a lot of hype all week. This atmosphere is electric. How do you want your team to harness it productively?
I just want them to have fun today. You know, these guys put in a lot of hard work, had a great week of preparation, want them to enjoy the moment and play good football.
You have a couple of key guys that we're waiting on injury for. How do you see Sanders performing today and Jalen Watt?
JT Sanders is good to go. Ryan Watts won't be able to go today.
Thank you so much, Coach.
All right, thank you. Great day for football, isn't it?
It's amazing.
Yeah, temperatures in the low 60s. It's going to be in the 60s throughout the game. Kind of a breezy day. You're watching a presentation of the Big 12 on ESPN. Kirk Herbstreit has made his way through the people and is up here. Pretty good time.
Yeah, 153 to the elevator.
Oh, we set the table a few minutes ago, Kirk, but as you know, you can feel it on the field. It's one of those games where the emotional and physical fuel is overflowing for every guy. How do you not let that take over in a game this big?
I give Texas an advantage there because of the experience that they have, not just this year, but this is a team that they've been through a lot. You know, think about the losses that have piled up over the last 2 or 3 years, some of the embarrassment moments that they had, and this is now a veteran team that survived that. Oklahoma in the second year with Brent Venables, this is new for them. They got embarrassed last year on this field. I think they've used that as motivation to get them ready to play and avenge that loss.
What happens on this field just resonates forever in this rivalry. Moments so powerful through the years, and sometimes they keep an eye on the small moments because they can be magnified and have a huge impact on the outcome. 50-50 is always the crowd. To the left side, as you watch this, the Burnt Orange Nation. The Crimson of the Sooner Nation on the right side. OU won the toss, and Brent Venables, as he does, deferred. So Texas will get the football first. When Ewers has been so calm, he was quiet, very introspective in our meeting last night, but he knows what it takes to get his mind right for this. Keelan Robinson back to return this one. Zach Schmidt, very solid kick for the Sooners to get it started. Red River, number 119. Robinson drifts up and he'll have a chance from the 11. Good coverage. The Sooners flew down the field behind that high kickoff, and Ewers backed up the 19-yard line as he comes out for his 16th start. He's only 20 years old. Seems like he's been around longer. Got a taste of it last year in a mismatch. He knows the challenge against this OU defense is a lot bigger today.
No doubt about it. I really thought there was a potential face mask there on Oklahoma on this kickoff. But keep in mind, you mentioned a 50-50 split. Texas will start the ball, and Ewers right in the heart of the OU side of the field with that crowd being a factor.
Jonathan Brooks had a great first 5 games at tailback as he get the ball immediately to Xavier Worthy. 2 years ago here he scored from 75 yards out on the first play. This time he takes a loss.
I think Woody Washington, one of the vets of this Oklahoma defense, it was a part of the loss. What a job of setting the tone. I know it's the first play, big deal, but it's a screen where he just throws the potential block on him by Jatavian Sanders and makes a big tackle for a loss.
Both sets of DBs will be tested in coverage and in run support today. Ewers has the football, gets it out, almost threw it. He did throw a pick. Right to Gentry Williams, who jumped the route. A huge mistake for Ewers, and OU will take over in the red zone.
Ewers gets confused here, Chris. He had 2 slants. Oklahoma does a good job, and what an unbelievable job by Gentry Williams jumping this route. Watch the hesitation by Ewers. He's unsure, he throws it anyway, and a heck of a job by Williams undercutting that, getting in front of Mitchell, anticipating that slant. Great job by OU's defense on these first 2 plays, and now what field position to start the game for Dillon Gabriel.
Picks in back-to-back games for Williams. Marcus Major is the back to the right of Dillon Gabriel. He's got the football in the flat, gets a block on the edge from Stogner, the tight end, but Texas shuts him down.
There's hopping going on out there. Dillon Gabriel, a quarterback that did not get a chance to play in this game. Second year in this system. They are going to go really fast today against Texas.
Gabriel, who can run it, takes off, has some space. Actually, it's a Farouk in the backfield there, a wildcat snap, so early wrinkle here, solid gain.
Yeah, Farouk, receiver here, just kind of, as you say, a little wrinkle to catch Texas off guard with the tempo.
And in 3rd and 1, they hammer forward and get a 1st and goal.
You know, you and I talk about this. It's much like what Tennessee was doing last year with Hendon Hooker and that Josh Heupel scheme. very similar style with Jeff Levy. It is so fast. You practice it all week. So difficult to simulate and get ready to see it until you see it for the first time.
Gabriel, long throw. Cutting in was Andrew Anthony, not quite on the same page. Terrence Brooks in coverage. They don't have Ryan Watts, their excellent corner today.
And they'll test that corner who is in. And one of the things you got to deal with is not just a tempo, but OU is going to get the ball out of Dillon Gabriel's hands as fast as they can. They have a great deal of respect, as they should, for Texas's front and their ability to apply pressure. That ball gets out quick.
Gabriel takes off, darts up the middle, and scores! Sooners draw first blood, quickly cashing in the pick.
Did a really good job of selling this, and then follows his right guard. Metalier, watch him wait patiently, allow those blocks to establish themselves on that left side. Good job by Stogner, the tight end on that left, creating that wall, cleared it open for the guard to come around. But good patience there by Dillon Gabriel to let that form in front of it.
Oklahoma could not have imagined a better start. They get the takeaway, just the second pick that Ewers has thrown this season. And Gabriel takes it to the end zone for the 5th time as a runner. 4th in the last 3 games.
Defense with a big interception. Remember, they were torched a year ago. They come back, get the turnover, give Dillon Gabriel great field position, and the Sooners cash in here early in Dallas.
Brought to you by Goodyear, celebrating the challenge of road games everywhere. Are you ready for the road? Goodyear, more driven. Less than 2 minutes in, the Sooners up by a touchdown, and Kirk Quinn-Ewers, who tried it out a few minutes ago to start this game, has got to shake off a terrible mistake. Just the second pick that he's thrown, by far the most costly. Robinson again waits at the goal line and elects to return it from the 4. Sidesteps one man and barrels forward out across the 28. So what does Sarkisian tell him?
Well, the one thing you rely on is the experience of last year, and he had moments like that, and that's where we all feel he's really grown. You know, he's got to settle into this game. Sark talked this week about not being emotional. A lot of emotions in his stadium, a lot of emotions with the players on the field. His quarterback has got to be beyond that, which is a real strength of his. So now he's got to bounce back from adversity. It's what you do. You're going to enough football in his life to know that put that one behind him and move forward.
It's Brooks, short gain, plugged up by Ethan Downs. This Oklahoma defense with a whole bunch of fresh faces, a bunch of transfer portal guys, some young players they've worked in. They've improved a lot through the first 5 games from last year's nightmare. Ewers back, look downfield, and he'll be swarmed. A short sack, nobody open, and the pocket collapsed around him. Well, DeJohn Terry got him.
Yeah, this is the area that Oklahoma has improved the most and put a lot of work into improving is the defensive line and the ability to get after the quarterback. We have an offensive lineman down for Texas. This is an experienced veteran offensive line and played a lot of football together. That looks like it may be Jake Majors, the center.
Well, he is an enormously important figure in this team, a 3rd-year starter who is the quarterback of the O-line. We'll step aside as they take a look at Jake.
The All-State Red River rivalry on ABC is presented by Head & Shoulders. Make every wash count. In part by Allstate, you're in good hands. And Chick-fil-A, the new Honey Pepper Pimento Chicken Sandwich has arrived at Chick-fil-A. Enjoy it for a limited time.
Here's the sack by DeJohn Terry. As he fell on the back of number 65 for Texas, the center, Jake Majors, who walked slowly to the sidelines. Here's another look.
And again, one of the mainstays of this offensive line, the left leg there gets rolled up on every offensive lineman's worst fear.
On 3rd and 13, Ewers just flips a little fluttering pass to Brooks out of the backfield, who had too much work to do to get there. It's tackled by Danny Stutzman, the top tackler in this conference a year ago. And the Sooners get off the field with a stop.
Bathroyd does a good job. You see him almost go down 80, but he forces him out of that pocket. Man, this Oklahoma defense, to think about where they were a year ago, 49 points allowed in this game, almost 600 yards, 6 yards a carry, 36 first downs. These first two drives for Texas, they have been relentless.
And now down into Oklahoma territory is Jordan Whittington, the wide receiver. Sarkisian feeling something had to change early, and he rolls the dice, Kirk.
You're exactly right. A late shift. Oklahoma not seeing that, so they were able to outflank them on the edge, and he's able to get the yards that he needs. You see it all the way out here. Oklahoma did not adjust. It was a late break of the huddle. Oklahoma caught completely off guard, and I love your point about know its own territory. He had to do something to create a spark and a little bit of momentum.
Whittington playing in his 4th edition of the Red River rivalry makes a big play. And now Ewers, he's been harassed a lot early, tried to flip it to Brooks, kind of a sidearm throw, but Ethan Downs made him uncomfortable that time.
How about that? I thought he was across the line of scrimmage, maybe just barely behind. It was very, very close. You see the line of scrimmage at about the 48. Look at the pressure. A lot of good coverage downfield. Boy, his whole body looked like it was across the line of scrimmage. If anything, maybe just a foot staying behind the line, but no flag.
It just takes one part of your body to avoid the penalty, and they do. And this is the kind of run that Brooks has executed a lot this season. The quick burst up the middle, well blocked. Key Lawrence stopped him.
Yeah, Hayden Connor, left guard, nice little counter play here along with Gunnar Helm. And now they're showing Oklahoma some of their own medicine going fast.
Sooners defense not lined up, but they close down Brooks very quickly. And he's stopped at the 40. Gentry Williams, who had the big pick, makes the tackle. And now another decision for Sarkisian. It's 4th down.
Trying to catch him off guard. Oklahoma did a pretty good job again up front. Oh, that defensive line is penetrating, very active in this game. And with Majors out, Connor Robertson in.
Savion Red in wildcat position. C.J. Baxter, the freshman, is to his right. And a throw across the middle, and it's caught. Complete. Sarkisian with another big gamble. Now the ball's loose at the end of the play. And it's ruled a fumble recovery by Oklahoma. Gunnar Helm, the tight end, caught the pass and then fumbled at the end.
And Savion Red is known as you said, a wildcat. He's a runner. Hasn't shown this a lot. He's a running back, but he's the defense communicating. Hey, he's in, so let's get our eyes up here. They blitz this backer. Look how the defense collapses down. So it's a great call by Sark. One step ahead of the defense, and Brent Venables, you can see the ball almost comes out. Boy, his right knee may have been down.
Bring in Bill LeMagne. Texas crowd reacting when they saw it on the big screen. Bill, what do you see from this play? This is an enormous call early in this game.
Yeah, they're doing a review on it right now, but the knee's down, and then the ball comes out. Replay's going to reverse this. They keep the football.
Bill, how about he bobbled that
initially? It is grasped right there, Bill. It's kind of starting to lose control at that moment.
Look, he started to lose the football. They're trying to knock it out. Right there, but good job of showing strength to hold on to it. Now he's got it secured, and as Bill said,
it's really close.
It really is.
It's a barn burner.
And it's a barn burner. Usually go what? With the call on the field?
You have to go with the call on the field.
Richard Brown is the replay official for this Big 12 crew. Is it clear enough, the evidence, that he still had control to overturn the call on the field? Bill, if you were in that position, what would you do?
Well, again, the ruling on the field is a fumble and a recovery. So they have to have indisputable video evidence to say, no, he was down in full control. So they have to go with the call on the field in that case.
What a seek to Sarkisian in his own end. Fake punt. They get it. Face another 4th down. Go to a wrinkle and throw a pass.
It's all going to come down to whether or not they feel that ball was slightly moving before that knee touched.
Well, they review this. We apologize. We're rolling with some serious technical issues in the first minute of this broadcast. We hope our crew will do a great job. It's a power issue, and our crew is as good as any trying to get things in terms of the cameras and microphones back up and running.
The last view that I just saw from the replay booth, I've got firm control of the ball with the knee down.
Okay.
But you went back and forth a couple times, didn't you? That's your final verdict?
Yeah, I'm going with it.
Now he just saw a different shot that he feels better about. What a call this is, whichever way it goes. I mean, everything going Oklahoma's way early. The fake punt to keep the drive alive. A potential conversion here. Like I said, the ball gets punched right there by Billy Bowman. He's able to keep control of it, and then it starts to come out. But it's all about the judgment if the knee was down before it came out.
The knee's down right there. And you could certainly make a case he still has control with 2 hands, but it is a kind of a split second, literally.
How about Sark, though, the fake punt and 4th down with the Wildcat quarterback. There.
After further review, the ruling on the field is that the runner was down prior to the ball coming loose, and will be 1st down at the 14-yard line.
That wasn't the ruling on the field. That was the ruling from the booth. But this is enormous. So Texas, with a couple of gambles, is set up at the 14-yard line. What a sequence of plays. What a start to this 119th Red River rivalry. Texas working toward their crowd. Should have the benefit of a relatively quiet series as they try to tie the score here. And here's a reverse, another wrinkle on the end around as Keelan Robinson. Sark is showing a lot in this first 20 plays that he comes in scripted, and he's been off script a couple times.
I think he's had to adjust, because I think what surprised him is he had a lot of respect for what Brent Venables has done through recruiting to see this defensive line. They punished them a year ago, but Brent Venables in this 2nd year, he's got different folks to work with up front, and they are winning the line of scrimmage. Sark's forced to get the ball out away from that front.
Robinson and Brooks flanking yours. And a throw. Sanders tipped up in the air and intercepted. The 2nd takeaway. Kendall Dolby comes up with the pick. Billy Bowman batted it up in the air.
He batted it up in the air, and he went right through Sanders' chest in the process. He's the veteran back there, just a grinder. How fitting for him in this rivalry game that he makes this play. Just sitting back here waiting for the potential threat right there. I think viewers at home watching it live wondered if it might be a defensive player getting hit up high. Ball's loose, but he hits him clean below the neck area. So it's a clean hit, well timed. Ball goes up into the air. Dolby's there to pick it off.
Junior safety from Denton is a big playmaker. He made an interception in the 4th quarter. A tight game at Cincinnati ended the Bearcats' hopes of winning that game. Then last week, 3rd play of the game, it's a pick 6 against Iowa State, and now this huge hit on one of the big weapons in this Texas offense, Sanders. And Oklahoma, 2 takeaways. Texas offense only had 2 turnovers all season. Now a wrinkle from this side is Gabriel, the quarterback, is split out wide. Stepping under center. Now he'll move back and take the pitch. It's Farouk running left.
A lot of movement by the Sooners, just trying to affect the communication of Texas. They're in play position.
Major stutter step, then he'll be swallowed up from behind after a short gain. So Oklahoma backed up for this possession, and Texas defense doing a good job so far. They've created a 3rd and 13. Aaron Sorrell on that stop. And now it's super loud for Oklahoma's offense in this end.
Yeah.
Gabriel from his own end zone flips it high and incomplete. Tried to find Drake Stoops on the cross. And the Longhorns force a 3-and-out.
Well, when they spread you so wide horizontally, it creates great vertical seams. Look at all the space to work for Gabriel. Going to get the ball out fast, but with the blitz coming, it's just a one-on-one matchup with Stoops against Thompson. But an errant pass, never a chance there on third down.
Xavier Worthy waits in Oklahoma territory to receive the punt of Josh Plaster, and it's blocked, and Texas scores a touchdown. Could you ask for more wild stuff in the first few minutes of this game? Malik Muhammad is a true freshman at corner, made the play. There is a flag on the field.
I think that's a celebration flag. This score will count, but probably an excessive celebration. Texas, we can't wait. This game is gone. I mean, this is vintage OU Texas. This is the Cotton Bowl. This is what it's about, right?
I don't know, man. We've seen a lot of these games. I've seen very few that have started off quite like this.
This is wild. He's telling him probably you could take this penalty, maybe either on the kickoff or the extra point.
You know, special teams, as you said, always have a way of factoring in.
On Fields a touchdown. After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct.
We've already seen Bowman. He's blocked 2 punts this year for Oklahoma. You figured they might have a special teams edge coming in, but look at the play by Malik Muhammad.
Muhammad ends up pouncing on top of the football. Good job there by Crawford to get his hand on it.
Crawford is one of the gunners. He's one of the best special teams players. Tremendous job. They kind of let him run right through. And Muhammad there to make it a touchdown and not a safety. Whoa, catch your breath here. 6 minutes in Dallas. Some wild stuff. 7 apiece.
Buckeyes back to Chris and Herbie.
Kevin, Dan, thank you. A lot going on this noon Eastern time window. But nothing wilder than what's going on here. 2 interceptions. Hit a fake punt. Then at a 4th and 1 convert, resulting in a fumble that was overturned. Then a block punt for a touchdown. That's all you've missed if you're just joining us. Lefty Stone to kick it away. Farouk, who's featured in a variety of roles here in the early going, is the returner. And into the wind, he's going to have a chance from about the 14-yard line. And now a trick on the return. The ball is flipped back. And this is Petaway, and he's got the ball out near the 45-yard line. What else can happen?
Well, with that unsportsmanlike penalty on Texas's bench, they end up kicking that off from their own 20. So there's a lot of room to work with for the Sooners, and another, why not? Little razzle-dazzle from both sides, and big yards with Texas out of position all the way up to their own 44-yard line. So special teams from both sides impacting this game.
Both coaches feeling in an adventurous mood today. Every advantage they can try to gain in a matchup that we think is pretty darn even across the board.
And if it weren't for Sark and of course Jeff Banks, the special teams coach, Texas would be down. Banks with the fake punt call on 4th and 5, and then the block punt. He's one of the best in the country. Came with Sark from Alabama.
Well, we're going to bring in Bill Lamagna again because Richard Brown, the replay official, is going to look at whether or not this little pass on the kickoff return was a forward pass, which wouldn't be allowed. Bill?
They're looking at the release point and then the touch point. You know, live on the field, I didn't think it was a questionable call at all, but watching it here on replay, again, it's a barn burner how tight this is.
But the ball's coming forward, right? From where the receiver is. He almost has to get it to him.
See, it's released right there, just across the 20.
Yeah, and look where he catches it.
Forward pass.
Yeah.
So that'll be a spot foul and a 5-yard penalty.
So a spot foul from the 22 would move it to the 17 if they take it away. That's about a 5-yard difference.
Yeah, 44 yards from the 44-yard line.
So if you're scoring at home, 2 Lamagna barn burners for the replay official.
That's fitting for this game.
Hey, a buddy of mine texted me and said we should call replay cheaters proof.
That's one of those things that you practice and you wonder if the coach is ever going to call it. You got to execute the timing perfectly. Fruit flipped the ball up in the air, but just a little bit too soon.
After further review, the pitch was forward from the 20-yard line. Another forward pass. 5-yard penalty from that spot. It will be first and 10 from the 15.
What do you make, Kirk, of both head coaches, being this adventurous this soon?
Sometimes you save it, right? You wait till maybe the second half. I think these coaches realize the importance of trying to get out early. We haven't even really gotten into the flow of this game of Jeff Levy's offense and the tempo and Texas's strength, the defensive line, who's going to win the battle. We haven't even had really a chance to get into this game because there's been so much back and forth. So many unusual play calls.
Say that again. So from the 15, Major is the back. Texas rounds the line, and Major's going to be knocked down after a short gain. It's an Oklahoma running game that can be effective in spots, Kirk, but do you really expect them to be able to move Texas's fine front out of the way this afternoon?
Well, they're going to have to wear them down with the tempo. That's their only chance. This has not been an explosive running offense. It's really been more about quick pass and trying to make plays with Dillon Gabriel and these receivers.
Fruit in motion, a long throw to Stoops. Got a pocket out of bounds at about the 25-yard line. It's right near the marker.
Really good block by Nick Anderson out in front of him to give him that chance to get to the first.
Play fast when they move to 6. Gabriel hit as he throws. Hit from the back, and the ball falls incomplete. That was big Tavondre Sweat with an interior power move.
Yeah, and that's what you expect to see from this front. You know, that's why Oklahoma wants to go fast, because they don't want to deal with that.
Are you kidding?
I mean, that's a large man at 362 pounds that has some twitch, believe it or not.
With one arm, he just shoved the lineman back and affected the quarterback. Gabriel escapes the pocket now. Lefty looking to make a play. 2 hands left, and he won't get there. Pursued and chased by the true freshman Anthony Hill, who made a big impact in the win at Alabama.
Yeah, that was an unusual move by Dillon Gabriel. He gets back in the pocket. He kind of ducks.
Could hide in there.
Yeah, and he had an open receiver in the slot to his left if he was able to get the ball out quickly and Farouk. But because of the size, that's been a big emphasis with Texas. Dillon Gabriel's listed at 5'11". I don't even know if he's that tall. So not only penetrating and getting to him, but getting a push from Collins and Murphy and Sweat to just get into his view and take away those throwing lanes.
Backed up in the noisy end on 3rd and 11. Tawee Walker is the back. Gabriel straight back to throw. Has time, deflected, and then caught by Anthony, but it's short of the first down. So again, they get the pressure, and that was Sweat who got his hand on the ball.
I got to see what this vertical is. There's no way the big fella, he did. He got off the ground pretty nicely at 362. Big man getting his hand on it.
Big man wrecking that series for Oklahoma. So here's Josh Plaster, who just had it plastered back in his face from his own end zone for the second punt. Worthy waiting at the 25 if the punter can get it off this time. Texas peels back and plays for a return. It's a very ugly line drive kick. A flag is down. It'll roll dead at the Texas 42. Wow, an adventure for the punter Plaster, a 26-yarder. Flag is on the far sideline, right near the line of scrimmage. If he's trying to kick it rugby style, Kirk, and just bounce it along the ground, it was certainly ugly.
It sure looked like he was. Took a few, 2 or 3 steps off to his right. Usually they do kick those or punt those balls much lower, and they just wait for the roll. Talking to the Texas sideline.
Special teams will play a key role, but maybe not this key this early. Talking about the flag that was back near the line of scrimmage.
5 guys in the backfield.
Illegal formation kicking team. Number 10 was covered up as an eligible number and then shifted to an eligible position. That's a 5-yard penalty from the end of the play. First down.
Sets Texas up with a 47. If you're Quinn Ewers, you can take a deep breath. That pick cost them 7 points, but the Longhorns, with their own special teams play, has steadied it now.
And now you really get into your game plan. But again, at the line of scrimmage, think Texas would win that, but they have not been able to yet.
No, Brooks Not much room. Stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Holly?
Well, guys, Jake Majors, the most important part of this Texas offensive line is in the locker room. They took him off the field, examined the bones and left ankle and foot. He tried to push off on it. It was not working, so they've taken him back inside. It's a huge deal. He's the most effective communicator up front. He sets the protections, the lines. He is such an integral piece, and the guy replacing him right now is a freshman, a redshirt freshman. It is a big storyline to watch, guys.
It's Connor Robinson. Now, you're right. Majors has a tremendous calm about him. A great center's personality that Ewers counts on. He'll have to make do. This is Whittington on the near side. Makes the catch into Oklahoma territory.
And that was a much better job of giving him some time. Hayden Connor coming down to help Robertson there in pass protection. At least he had time. The play not able to be executed downfield to pick up a first down, but it's just one of the few times he's been able to sit there and survey the coverage.
Adonai Mitchell to the left of the formation. Ewers is going to fake the pump and then dive forward, and they will move the sticks. Another tactical scramble by Ewers. Done a lot more of that this year very effectively.
It's a good job. He wanted to release it, but he senses pretty good coverage here by Stutzman. He gets into that throwing lane, so he's got to come off of it.
Playing with tempo. Flag is down before the snap, and it's a false start. So that's the other part of the equation when you try to get the defense disorganized.
5-yard penalty. Still first down.
That was Mitchell.
And Mitchell just flinching just a bit while Whittington was in motion.
You're right about the frantic stuff going on here. Neither offense really been able to settle. We haven't got a look really at what's going on, other than OU's defensive front is playing well.
Yeah.
Play fake, far pitch, and slipping a tackle is Whittington, but a short gain as the pursuit caught up to him.
Just cannot say enough about how different things are in year two for Venables and Ted Roof, the defensive coordinator. You know, if you're an OU fan, when they hired Brent Venables, this is what you envisioned. This is the defense that you think about when you think of Brent Venables. A defense that flies around, moves around, confuses a quarterback, confuses protection.
Ewers hesitates, and that's going to be fatal for him today. He does work his way free. Dejon Terry held on for dear life. It's another sack for the Sooner front.
Again, that's what we just talked about, is showing one thing and going to another. Watch good coverage downfield. So the front and the coverage marrying one another. So Ewers, it's not just the pass rush. It's the confusion with good coverage downfield. Ewers forced to hold on to the football, and then by doing that, you give the defensive front time to get to him.
Now it's Oklahoma with a key guy down to the field. Dejon Terry, the nose tackle who made the sack of Ewers, and the play that injured Jake Majors is now being looked at by the training staff for Oklahoma.
If you look at Terry and Ford, Lacey, Laulu, I mean, they've got 4 transfer portals of guys that have come in and made a difference and added depth. This is where we are. This is the first throw that Ewers had. It was an interception, and it allowed Oklahoma to get on the board early with Dillon Gabriel. But give Texas credit. They came back. They looked like they were going to drive and put points on the board. Interception. Defense does their job, forces the punt, and Jeff Fake's unit comes up with that block and a touchdown to tie it up.
In the middle of all that, a fake punt and Sarkisian call that worked. 3rd and 19. Texas, the brink of squandering a great opportunity with field position. Ewers has a lot of space, but a long way to go, and just has to flip it away. This Texas offensive line is missing their center, is having a hard time protecting the quarterback right now.
They are, and Ewers, you know, a quarterback that I think came onto the stage against Alabama and played so well. I think everybody around the country is really excited about Texas and this offense and its potential. But OU is fired up. He is 5 of 9, only 12 yards, 2 picks, and he's been sacked.
Freeman, 5'8" sophomore, standing back at the Oklahoma 8. Sanborn boots it high. He's kicking into the wind, and the fair catch is made by Freeman. So Oakland begins at the 12-yard line. Well, tomorrow, Sunday NFL Countdown. See how Christian McCaffrey has been inspired by Bruce Lee. It'll be interesting. And a Monday Night Football in Vegas. The Raiders host the Packers, 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 Pacific. Peyton and Eli on ESPN2. The Packers lost to the Lions.
They did. Lions are real. Well, they're packed up deep in their own territory again. Special teams impacting this game beyond the obvious. OU wants first downs. They want to the tempo.
It's the back. Tyree Walker in motion. Gabriel took a quick peek and then just runs it up the middle. We're going to have to keep a spy or someone focused on him. He's hurt every opponent running the football.
Well, but Texas thinks a big key in this game is their defensive line being outnumbered because of the formations with the receivers. You have to spread yourself out. But if you can stay with fewer numbers in that box and still get away with it.
He picked up 5 on the first down. Now Walker, who's 5'9", but is built like a tank. Look at the power there. 216. I think he seems even bigger than that. It's a first down.
I don't know how he got that. I mean, he was met maybe 2 or 3 yards short of the first down, but that power allows him to fight for those last couple yards to get them out of the shadows there of their own goal line.
He's very thick. He's been breaking tackles throughout first part of the season. This OU offensive line, they're not creating huge creases. Not many yards before contact, so it's up to the backs. Walker, Majors, to make guys miss.
Yeah, this line feels like with 3 transfer portal guys, they're still kind of gelling. Here's pressure off the left.
Hammered straight ahead by Walker, who shows that power, makes it 3rd and medium here. They'll need about 4.5.
You've got 3 guys. Guyton, the right tackle from TCU, the right guard. Matuyer is from Cal, the left tackle. Rouse from Stanford. And the teams they have played, nothing close to what they're facing today.
Cincinnati's front gave them a tough time. It was a workmanlike win on the road, but Texas another level up from that. Majors the back on 3rd and 3, and the snap gets away from Gabriel. Wasn't looking for it. Picks it up, tries to make something happen, and just heaves it into the bench. Avoids what could have been a disastrous play.
Now he's looking off to his right, setting the motion for his receivers, and the ball is snapped by Rain. Look at him, he's looking off to the right. Oh, and by the time he claps for the ball, remember where they are on the field. That's the toughest part of this stadium for this offensive line because it's down by the horns in. What a job by Gabriel, sense of presence of mind there to just come back and pick up the ball instead of giving up on the play, throws it away.
Second time that's happened this year. Ram not on the same page. You saw Gabriel looking at his hand as he comes off. A flag is down as Texas may have roughed Plaster the punter. Another impactful special teams play. If it's the 15-yard variety, it's a first down. B.J. Allen got in there.
What else can happen?
And special teams alone. Leg is extended. Running into, of course, is a 5-yard penalty. That's what it
number
is.
7, 5-yard penalty. The yard results in a first down.
It's enough to make it. Thielen Robinson there. Did his best to avoid contact, but just brushed him. And that's all because Gabriel Kirk was able to round up that early snap and make something of it. If a loss, they're back way up. Penalty like that wouldn't have made a difference. The incompletion kept it a 4th and short, and now the Sooners with fresh downs here from the 34. Off the play fake, Gabriel backpedals and launches downfield for Jaleel Farouk, who makes a catch at the Texas 21. He beat Jalen Catalon, the safety, our first downfield play today.
Well, this is a matchup they want. Catalon is known more as a thumper, and they're able to get downfield, create that one-on-one matchup with Farouk. Nice job of locating the matchup, and Gabriel puts it out in front of him where he can run under the football.
43-yard gain. This is Walker hammering to the right. An area of big improvement this season for Gabriel, throwing the ball downfield. Doesn't matter that his hand is bleeding. That's, of course, his non-throwing hand, but
got to power with the left. Got to power through. Didn't affect that deep ball very much. What a good job by Jeff Levy. That's what he does. He spreads you out horizontally to take shots vertically.
Walker breaks the first tackle, but is spun down behind the line of scrimmage by Jalen Ford, the leader of this Longhorn defense, who sets the tone.
One of the more instinctive linebackers you'll see in college football. Got another player down.
Stop the clock here. 39 seconds remaining in a frantic opening quarter. Dallas. We've played this 119 times. I can't imagine too many first quarters with more wild stuff happening. Looks like it's Jalen Catalon, safety there, who just got beat deep on that ball, who's down on the field. And it's 3rd and 10 for Oklahoma, so they make the deep throw, get set up in position, but now face a 3rd and long.
But if you're not familiar with what Brent Venables is doing offensively, you can see Catalon is sitting up now. What he did is he hired Jeff Levy, and Jeff Levy is very much like you watched last year with Tennessee. Want to go tempo, want to spread you out, and want to take some shots by getting those one-on-one chances.
Catalon on the tackle of Walker. You can see he kind of rolled over. And he is on his feet, but limping heavily. And Derek Williams is a true freshman in Louisiana who backs him up. Talked about the importance of Majors in the offensive line. The importance of Catalon in the secondary is enormous. He's just a big playmaker. The guy who's kind of the glue back there, and now a true freshman steps in for him. See what Jeff Levy has got cooked up on this 3rd and 10. Blood in the pants of the quarterback. Texas not showing pressure in this 3rd down. They don't bring it. Gabriel from the pocket, a long throw to the far sidelines, and a diving attempt. Anthony, does he have it in bounds? Yes, he does. You see the accuracy and the arm strength of Gabriel.
And it's a long throw for any quarterback. What an accurate throw. And a heck of a job by the transfer from Michigan, Anthony, to get that left foot down. I don't know, they stop play. They're going to maybe take a peek at this one too. The look that we just saw, unless he bobbled the ball going out of bounds. I mean, he got his foot down for sure.
Further review,
it's a great look at it right there. You see his left foot down. Now, did he lose control of the ball after we lose him there? Let's see if it's a better look here. That's the only thing that could prevent this from being a catch.
No,
it looks like he has it. What an effort. What a throw. Left foot's down. Right arm seems to have that football locked in pretty good.
Yep, that's the catch.
Like I said, the only thing is if he bobbled it after, but that appeared that he did it all. He didn't lose control. He was more perplexed than anybody. He looked around like, they stopped that? I had that.
This drives you crazy when they stopped review, because Oklahoma's offense was cranking. They were up there ready to run a play. First down from the 11-yard line. Now Texas gets a chance to take a breather and maybe coach up Derek Williams, who's been thrown into the fire.
Yeah,
Freshman.
That's where I was going with Oklahoma's style of offense. Again, it's much like Tennessee with Hendon Hooker and what they're doing this year with Joe Melton. It's fast, fast, fast. You see Auburn, any of these teams, anytime they can slow an offense down, they'll have a guy that's, that potentially has an injury where he'll just go down even if it's not an injury.
Injury in quotes.
Yes. And so you're right. They want to go as fast as they can, and things like this slow down Dillon Gabriel and the rhythm of this offense.
There was a slight bobble of the ball, but he got his right toe down just before the knee hit out of bounds. So he did regain control.
Wow, I didn't see any bobble. Good for you seeing that.
Weird start, but now Gabriel has found some rhythm here with the deep ball and the great third down completion. Walker into heavy traffic. It's just hard to move those 300-pounders in the middle.
That's where the big boys. That's where the big boys are, inside there. That's tough sledding.
Well, what a first quarter in Dallas. Oklahoma threatening, but it's 7 apiece in the Red River rivalry. Back after this message and a word from your local ABC station. Threatening here in a 7-7 game. 2nd and 9. Walker is the back, along with Drake Stoops for now in the backfield to the left of Dillon Gabriel. Plenty of wrinkles already. Now Stoops goes in motion. It didn't look like Gabriel was ready for the snap. He was surprised by it, handled it, hands off to Walker.
I tell you what, man, he's getting tested back there with these snaps. He and Rain better get on the same page. That ball came back again where his athletic ability saves that potentially from that ball bouncing off his shoulder pad. So again, keep in mind where they are in the field. Loudest part of this stadium for this OU offense and that O-line.
First snap for Gavin Sawchuk, who's the back who motions out. Empty backfield now. Texas rushes 4. Gabriel thinks about scrambling. He'll take off. Now flips to the end zone. Almost threw an interception. Tracking across was Jaron Thompson, the safety. Wow. Gabriel lucky to avoid a pick there.
He really is. He wanted to go off to his right here. Safety's taken away completely. And then he has to come back. See, he looks right. Now he's going to work back over here. Once he makes that decision, look at the eyes of the Texas safety. He reads him perfectly, and he brings him over there to make that play.
And both these defenses, Kirk, have some experienced and savvy safeties who make the quarterback pay for a bad decision. Chip shot here for Zach Schmidt. And that is a straightforward special teams play. We've had very few so far. That was a heck of a drive by Oklahoma. It took it 78 yards in 13 plays, 4.5 minutes. Back on top by 3.
Tigers up 22-7 over on ESPN. Chris Herbie, back to you.
Mizzou, a sneaky undefeated team, huh?
Picked them on the board.
Oh, okay.
Feeling good about that. See if it holds up.
Schmidt with a line drive kick. And Keelan Robbins is going to bring it out and breaks a couple tackles, knocked down at the 15-yard line. That's where Ewers will set up. Well, since the Big 12 was formed in '96, our Athletic trivia question asks you, which player has the most career rushing touchdowns in games between Oklahoma and Texas?
So an entire career?
Yeah.
So like a Adrian Peterson, DeMarco Murray kind of.
Williams was kind of at the beginning of the years in the Big 12.
Yeah. Jamal Charles.
A lot of good
names.
A lot of good opportunities to be right. Handoff when he left is C.J. Baxter, the freshman who was the game 1 starter, but then injured his ribs and had to miss some time. But he's powerful, instinctive, shows you why he's got the 5-star label.
For sure. Ewers right now doesn't have a completion beyond the line of scrimmage. 0 for 3.
Looking for his first one here, and the high throw is caught for a first down across the 30-yard line by Jordan Whittington.
That's all he needed, right? Just bring that up, that he's 0 for 3 downfield, and then he gets a one-on-one matchup. Nice job of using that motion. And ends up getting the ball thrown to Whittington.
And now a first down throw across the middle, and the catch is made by Adonai Mitchell. Finally a little rhythm for Ewers. A flag comes in after the play, and it may be an ineligible man downfield for the Longhorns to wipe away that pass.
Yeah, they're going to get him. They're going to bring this back. You can see how he's using that pre-snap movement to affect this defense and their communication. It's worked back-to-back. This time it'll have to come back.
Number 62.
Now, Kirk, we've won 21 plays for the Texas offense. The 2 longest plays, Whittington's 20 20-yard run and a fake punt, and then the 4th-and-1 pass from Red to Helm, which resulted in a fumble that they overturned. Those are the 2 best plays they've had in offense.
Well,
very much off the script.
Very much so. Majors out. Robertson in, run pass option, meaning you can either hand it off or throw it. He decided to pull, was the right read, but Robertson downfield to bring it back.
And 1st and 15, they hand it off, and breaking tackles is Baxter. Just does not look physically at all like a true freshman. Very impressive lower body power.
No doubt about it.
Limp off.
Jeez. We've seen a lot of injuries. We've seen a lot of unusual plays. Hopefully he'll be okay. As you said, he's had to fight through some injuries early. And by him going down with that injury earlier this year, Brooks has really emerged as their go-to back. Over 200 last week against Kansas.
It's an important game because it sets up a 2nd and 6, and now they give it to Brooks. It'll be 3rd and short.
I love Brooks. I love what he can do. He plays with a purpose. Has a tattoo on his right forearm about his father who passed away in March of 22. Uses that as a motivation. That's his higher purpose that he thinks about. Plays with a great deal of passion.
A lot of maturity, too, to be sat down as the starter opening game, to get the job back when Baxter was injured. Averages 119 a game. Lewis checks the sidelines on this 3rd and 3. Play clock at 5. And they hand it off to Brooks, who makes a big burst, breaks a tackle. They try to punch it free. He won't let him, and he's tackled at the Oklahoma 30 by Gentry Williams.
Well, I think this defense is expecting a throw, but watch the combination block up front. How about Robertson doing a good job of getting up to the linebacker connect? Off guard, expecting the pass, and they crease him in the middle.
31-yard gain, and they run down and try to play real fast, and it's another false start. This offensive line didn't have a single one of these in Tuscaloosa. Incredible poise.
Number 52, 5-yard penalty.
But this tempo is different today.
It really is, and I think the reason you're seeing that, to be candid, if you go back to when Ryan Day and Ohio State played Clemson and Brent Venables was his defensive coordinator and they won convincingly that year, there's a lot of talk about, well, Brent Venables gets the last look, and some people accuse him of stealing signs. Just tries to get a last look. Well, the answer to that by a lot of offensive play callers is to change the tempo up, not to let him get that look.
And now we have to spend a timeout. The clock was ticking down as Texas tries to keep this drive going. Ewers has finally found some rhythm.
River Rivalry on ABC, presented by Head & Shoulders, is brought to you by Allstate. You're in good hands. And Belfour Property Restoration, restoring more than property.
Athletic trivia question. We were thinking about all the great running backs on both sides, Kirk. Kind of a trick question. Texas fans yelling at us. It's Sam Ehlinger.
Oh, Sam Ehlinger.
He had 12 touchdowns in games between OU and Texas. Count the Big 8.
Yes.
Big 12 championship game in 18.
One of those games here, he was almost like just a bruiser, just scoring touchdown after touchdown in the red zone area.
So Texas had the false start. Then they spend a timeout. So still 1st and 15. Ewers changes direction, trying to escape for his life, and he's brought down. Ethan Downs got there first. It's a play they love to use, but it takes a long time to develop.
Watch Laulu take this away. 8 does a good job of anticipating. They ran this exact same play a week ago against Kansas, but this time it's taken away.
Lost 10 yards. And Ewers, a long throw, catch made. Worthy gets back a big chunk of the yardage from 2nd and 25. It'll be 3rd and manageable now inside the 30.
Max protects, tight end in the back in there to help him out. And that's just a one-on-one matchup against a soft corner. Easy read, throws on rhythm and time there that time by Ewers. Gives him a shot here.
Yeah, Texas subs. Oklahoma had a chance to do the same and catch their breath before this 3rd and 7. Ball out quickly, one-handed grab made by Brooks, who fights near the first down. Stutzman forced him out, and it's going to be right
there
at the marker.
Watch this. The one hand, like you said, and then to dive to try to pick up that first down.
He is short. 4th down.
Yeah, but not by much. What a great effort there by Brooks.
Bert Auburn, the Texas kicker, has been struggling a bit by his high standards, and Sarkisian not going with the field goal here. It's about 1.5 yards that they need. Ewers on the move, flips it, touchdown! Gunnar Helm, the tight end. They turned him loose, and he makes him pay, and Texas is on top. What a call.
What a call. Again, OU's eyes in the backfield on a short yardage play, 4th and 2, completely expecting that they're going to try to run this football. And once Ewers rolled out to the right, nobody picks up the tight end. And of all the tight ends in this game, you're taking a Sanders. You're not worried about Gunnar Helm. Gunnar Helm's out there to block and set the edge.
First touchdown of the season, just his 4th and 5th catches today. He's figured in prominently. Here's the guy that when he caught the 4th down pass and then fumbled, but it was taken away by replay. And Texas, 85-yard drive in 9 plays to jump on top.
Gunnar Helm right here, and watch how he ends up just almost, hey guys, I'm just here to block, don't mind me. Once the quarterback rolls, look at the defense. All eyes are on the quarterback. Nobody thinks about the threat of Gunnar Helm. So Sark goes against the grain here, gets it to the 6'5", 250-pound tight end who usually is out there to block.
Comes out of Cherry Creek High School. That's a powerhouse in the Denver area, and he's now got his first touchdown as a Texas Longhorn, and it's a memory for life, and it's a big moment in this game as Texas marched right down the field, and the best news for them, they get their quarterback going.
Exactly. They got their quarterback going, and they got their rhythm going. I think a game within a game is Sark's play calling against Brent Venables, the adjustments, the cat and mouse game, mixing up tempo, trying not to allow Venables a chance to make those adjustments late. That'll continue throughout the game.
Stone to boot it away. And this is Farouk who will wave for a fair catch. And Sooners will take over at the 25. Holly?
Well, guys, Quinn Ewers redeeming himself on that last drive. He got off to a tough start with the interception, losing his center, a lot of chaos. But he's been working all season on his mental conditioning. He had a meeting on Thursday with Dr. Cawthon of Texas to make sure that his fear of failure does not rise up in this game. And he did face some failure early in this game. But on that drive, he comes to the sideline after the big touchdown, calm, composed. You wouldn't know anything's going on by the look on his face. This is something he's been working on to rebound.
That's a great point, Holly. Breathing exercises, sports psychology, those are the tools at his disposal. That was a lot to bounce back from early. This is Marcus Major, works the right side. That's a pretty solid first down gain. They haven't had many on the ground.
Well, you see what Jeff Levy did. He started with 4 receivers to the right, brought him all the way back to the left, and the adjustment from Texas gave him numbers back to the right to run.
Longhorns really weren't lined up to defend the pass on the far side, but they hand it off to Major, runs to this side, and it's Barron getting him down, but it's a first down.
Yeah, the whole goal of Oklahoma's offense is to get the defense to look over to the sideline as the ball is being snapped. They're trying to get the call. Texas trying to avoid that against this tempo.
With the play fake, Gabriel flips it short. Major makes one man misses. Knocked down at the 45 by Anthony Hill, but this is what they say is on schedule for this offense.
And he also, I love how the term, he says, we want him to create completions. Just operating within this offense. If it's a quick throw like that, stay on schedule, let us play fast. This is the slowest you'll ever see Oklahoma's offense here.
Got a faster plan. 75% completion rate coming in. That would shatter the school record by Baker Mayfield as Gabriel this time plows the middle and gets nothing, so it sets up a 3rd and long 3.
It was the right read. He had a chance to read that. Kind of a power play, quarterback power coming back the other way off of that play fake, but a big defensive line not letting anything get started there in the trenches.
Sooners 2 for 6 on 3rd so far. Walker is the back. Gabriel has time and delivers a pass caught far side. It's a first down to Farouk.
I don't know if it's because he's lefty and he's not the tallest. I mean, I know people compare Tua's kind of his system and the way his mechanics. That ball gets out so quick. Give credit to that offensive line giving him time.
14-yard gain on the third down. Gabriel has a lot of time here. And now we'll take off, makes a cut, weaves his way down, starts to slide, takes a hit. Oklahoma fans want a flag, and they get one. Jaron Thompson arrived, but the quarterback was beginning to give himself up.
That's part of his game that's very underrated. The way he can escape and create, much better this year. One of the worst in the country a year ago. Was pressured a lot, didn't have a chance to make plays like this. Now one of the top 10 quarterbacks in the country at doing this.
After the play, personal foul, late hit to a sliding quarterback. Defense helps to the goal.
You know, it really wasn't after the play, Bill. He was sliding, but had begun that motion to give himself up when Thompson arrived. How do you see it?
Well, technically, when he starts to slide, the play's dead.
Okay.
So technically, it is a late hit.
It's good for fans to know when you start to slide, not the actual slide itself. Once you start to go down, you're giving yourself up.
No, and that's the exact spot the ball will be placed.
Right, right.
Oklahoma trying to reclaim the lead, set up inside the Texas 15. On the end around, it's Gavin Freeman. He's the punt returner. He's got good quickness in tight spaces and worms his way down to the 2.
Great job again of getting away from the big, strong defensive lineman. Get him out on the edge where he's got some room to work with that quickness.
Texas defense barely set up as they snap it and hand it to Major. Runs into a burnt orange wall at the 1.
It's a little different in there. You get the linebackers and safeties trying to get down.
No place you want to be.
No. Time it looked like Barron, the safety, got in there, the nickel.
Oklahoma did sub. Texas brings on a few fresh defenders. First and goal. Walker, short yardage power back. But Gabriel keeps it, takes a hit, and he'll be stopped short of the goal line. Derek Williams, true freshman, pressed into duty with Catalan out of the game.
Pretty good job. He's known as a physical freshman. You can see Barron gets in there too. A lot of Longhorns, but boy, it's fun to watch Derek Williams, a 5-star with a lot of promise, being forced into duty and showing he's not just a guy that has skill. He's not afraid to get in there and thump.
They were all over the quarterback that time. Gabriel already one rushing touchdown, but they handed to Walker this time. And he just waltzes in, standing up. Oklahoma answers the answer by Texas and reclaims the lead.
Caden Green is being in this game right now. He's on the left side there. Watch the job that he does. 70. He's a true freshman. Nice job of the double team there in the middle. Center Rain, right guard, Natalia. They open that hole up nicely.
It's the AT&T 5G clicker. Walker's third touchdown run of the season. 10-play, 75-yard drive for the Sooners. Took just about 4 minutes. So it took a while with this frantic beginning, but both offenses really finding their rhythm right now. 17-14 Sooners. Fighting the aerial coverage. Road tested and game ready. Are you ready for the road? Goodyear, more driven. Primetime on ABC. Notre Dame back at it. Battled Duke, and now they take on Louisville on the road. Undefeated Cardinals.
Think of the last 2 games Notre Dame's had. A game that they played well enough to beat Ohio State, pulled away from them late, had to respond last week. Another emotional game, found a way to beat Duke. Now against undefeated Louisville tonight on ABC. That's 3 straight weeks. They're going to have to rally and see what they can do tonight. It'll be a good game.
Well, Ewers back to work here from the last drive. He was 4 for 4 for 59 in the touchdown.
Yeah, finally got the ball thrown downfield. Up to that point, they'd not had a completion. This is a third down and short, recognizing it. Good job of Brooks being able to get through there. He's always going to make those safeties miss. This is at 4th and 1. The motion affects the eyes. They sneak Gunnar Helm back there, and Texas offense looking like Texas offense for the first time today.
Doing without Jatavian Sanders, who had the ankle problem coming in. He was targeted once. Remember, he got rocked by Billy Bowman. Play that resulted in an interception. He's not out there. And Adonai Mitchell hasn't been a factor either for this passing game. No catches, 1 target. Down the middle, it's Worthy. He's been a factor. Pass with plenty of air. They found open space and beat Key Lawrence.
The jet motion affects the coverage in the back end. Watch how the safeties have to respect that. Nobody left in the middle. Ewers sees that and delivers the ball in a hurry.
39 yards, 2-back look here. It's Brooks behind the block of Robinson, running to the left. You just see the beautiful play design of Steve Sarkisian, all the brain power on the other side. You've talked about defensively for Venables. What a great chess match.
Again, I think that's the aspect of this game that's so much fun. Brent Venables, one of the best defensive minds in college football. The head coach, still heavily involved. You can watch him. Sark wants to make sure he's giving his offense and his quarterback an advantage. Doesn't want to just line up. He's always going to have movement, making OU have to adjust.
That's Worthy in motion. 2-back look, and they hand it off inside there to C.J. Baxter, who's near the marker.
And with those 2 backs, Brooks leads the way. And like I said, you're going to see Sark's response to not letting Brent Venables have a chance to make late adjustments. Either go very fast or move around with pre-snap movement. Sanders comes back into the game, which is a good sign. Oh, you got Ewers now off to the left.
Yes, Savion Red back at Wildcat quarterback on 3rd and 1. Flanked by Baxter. And it's a keeper. Makes the cut. Boom. Lowers the shoulder. Makes a first down at the 20. Red, of course, who came in and tossed a pass on 4th down before.
And he's a running back. He's their 5th running back behind Robinson and Blue. So he knows what to do when he has his hands on the football. But you'll see him as their short yardage Wildcat. We already saw the throw. Just as a different wrinkle. And obviously, when he keeps the ball, he knows how to pick up those yards.
2 tight ends set up to the right. Baxter in the backfield. And a whistle. And a timeout spent by Venables on defense. He senses that Texas is operating rhythm, wants to get his guys organized on the same page. 3:13 before halftime. Horns try to reclaim the lead.
Back to Chris and Herbie.
Big moment here. It's a red zone possession. This is where Oklahoma's defense is at its best. And Texas, Kirk, hasn't been that efficient in the red zone this season, coming in through an interception in their only red zone trip before this.
Yeah, it's not like Sark's offense being 109th in the nation, a touchdown percentage in the red zone. It's an area they've really emphasized.
Ewers on the move. Flag is down. Catch is made at the 9-yard line by Adonai Mitchell. It would be his first if it stands, but we'll check the marker.
I think it could be defensive holding. It looked to me like Winnington was trying to go out to the flat. Defender grabbed onto his jersey.
Mitchell's a guy, Kirk, 10 catches, 141 yards, and a touchdown against Kansas. He's been a great big game player in his career. Mitchell has a catch in each of the 4 CFP games he's played.
Number 80, that penalty's declined. The result of the play was the first down.
Bothroyd guilty, but they'll let the catch stand to Mitchell, and he's just a guy who's been too quiet so far.
He has, but the difference he has made. You could make an argument. There are a lot of great transfers. The impact he's had on this offense has been as big as anything of any of these top contenders in the country.
Hand off inside, boom, knocked down his Baxter. I'm not saying he's doing anything wrong. They're doing a good job on him.
They are.
Once they get him involved, it becomes a different deal.
And you know that's coming, and we'll see if Sanders is able to hold up. But when you throw Mitchell in there, it takes a lot of pressure off of Worthy. I think with Worthy and now Mitchell and Winnington and Sanders, man, that is a great group for Ewers to work with.
And he has spread the football around to those talented playmakers. 2nd and goal. Empty backfield. And swarming into the backfield to make the play for Oklahoma. They lose 4. Who's the guy who was flagged a second ago?
I think he saw that coming. It's a good job by Brent Venables. ready to anticipate anytime he sees motion coming to him. Be ready for that threat, just in case they hand him that football on that fly sweep. It happens so quickly that if you don't anticipate it, that ball's around the corner. Heck of a job there by 80, the transfer from Wake Forest.
Interesting here. You don't see this too often in college football in the first half, but a clock management timeout by Venables here. Minute 58 to go in the half. It's a 3rd and goal. So he wants to get the defense set, but he also, whatever happens here, wants to give Gabriel some time before halftime.
Yeah, I think with your offense and how fast they can execute, how quickly they can attack, it's a smart move. This is a big sequence right now with 2 minutes to go. This 3rd and goal, you're down by 3. The way the game is gone, the way the game, it feels like it's heading. This is a points matter on every possession, right? And going back to your point about their struggles in the red zone, Sark saying we have emphasized it more this week than ever before because we want to go back to what Ewers is most comfortable with down in this area.
Yeah, it's really a premium on Ewers' execution down here. Hasn't been a strong point so far this season. Brooks motions out, 5 receivers. Ewers has some space, pump fakes. Not going to fool anybody. He's dragged down to the 6 by Kanak, and it's 4th down.
Well, they spread it out, went empty. Creates some one-on-one chances, but instead Oklahoma, they're going to sit back in more of a zone and doing a good job of keeping their eyes on Ewers just in case he takes off. And Kanak is in there doing a good job almost as a spy there because of the way Ewers has taken off this year on these 3rd downs. Good job being aware of that.
They expected to see more zone from Oklahoma this year. That was a well-spent timeout by Venables. They not only preserved time for their offense, they got the defense set up well.
It looked like I saw Sark frustrated. I don't know if he thought that was a face mask by Kanak. I know he's upset with the officials. Looks like it. No, he came down. His forearm grazed it, but the contact was on the chest.
Bert Auburn is reliable. 7 of 8 from short distance. He's had a couple of misses in recent weeks from beyond 40. Normally pretty solid down here. Field goal to try to tie things up. He's got to deal with an angle. My spotter Mike Black says, Kirk, got to keep the head down. That's the technical thing here. Keep the head down if you're a kicker when you deal with an angle like this from the hash mark. So we'll see if he does it.
He can't help himself. No, he loves it. He's got a stopwatch out. He's ready.
It's a 25-yarder to tie this up at 17. Keeps the head down and knocks it right through. So that's a 68-yard field goal drive in 10 plays, 3.5 minutes, and now Gabriel's got 153 to work with. We're back in 8 seconds, but now a look from Ram Trucks.
Ram Trucks, built to serve.
Gabriel, so experienced. Well-traveled, 3 years at UCF. This is year 2. Again, reminder, couldn't play in this game a year ago. Got a targeting hit from a TCU player the week before. He was over there in a jersey, and said it was a really helpless feeling. Watching this offense shut out, they had 5 different dudes, including the punter, attempt to pass. They had 39 yards passing in last year's loss.
It's unreal. What a difference a year makes. But how about the scene here? For people that have never been to this setting, it is unbelievable. It's one of a kind, state fair. A lot of people going around this stadium have no idea there's a game going on. Well, there's 100,000 people or so inside here enjoying it. Split right from the 50-yard line. Crimson and cream one side, burnt orange on the other. Very unique, and this game's living up to what you expect to see from it with some unanticipated excitement.
And Farouk will let it bounce. When we talk about the importance of this game, both these teams at 5-0 certainly have hopes and dreams of a national championship. This is the chance to reach the playoff, to get in the 4-team bracket. You can see that no matter which team wins, 72% for Oklahoma, 73% for Texas. They'll both be very likely favored in the remainder of their games. Could be the first of two meetings. 20 miles to the west is the conference championship game.
Not to say, yeah, that they're going to get tested and maybe meet again in the conference championship, but the springboard that this can give you, the confidence that this can give you. Whereas if you lose this one, even though you're 5-1, you're regrouping a bit.
No timeouts. Minute 53. They pitch it to Andrew Anthony, who ducks under a tackler, falls down short of the marker. Clock still moving.
Yeah, Anthony, the transfer from Michigan. I thought it was a little surprised when he came over, but it's worked out well for him. 6'1", 190.
And they're going to run the ball. And Major will move the sticks. The clock will continue to move as soon as they get those ready. Yeah, Michigan, they're in such disarray. You got to get out of Ann Arbor. Things are just not working out there. Right. He said he got a lot of puzzled questions when he decided to transfer, but it has worked out really well for him, Anthony. Gabriel, an inaccurate throw, tried to lead Major, but it was off target. Clock stopped with 1:20 to play.
Texas just sitting back in a zone. Couple robbers, meaning safeties, sitting down right around that 15-yard mark, just kind of reading the eyes, trying to bait him into any kind of throw, but just nobody open downfield.
Gabriel patient, checks the sideline. Here comes the pressure. They pick it up. Long throw, caught, and spinning free is Farouk. They chase him down, but a big play made one man miss. This guy is so good after the catch.
He sure is. And again, this is the improvement. Look how far he is near the sideline. You'd love to see the defender this time, Holmes, use that sideline to help him with leverage to the inside, but instead he gives that away and then gives up yards after the catch.
Got 34 yards after the catch. Oklahoma thinking end zone now, not just a field goal try. Gabriel took a look left, now dumps it down over the middle, and this is Walker with the catch. Breaks free again. You can't get this dude down. He is so powerful. Another first down at the 16. Gavin Holmes having a tough go out there.
Just take completions. That's what you do in this offense. You're right. He is a handful to bring down. Lower body strength. You never can assume you got him. Texas trying to rotate bodies. Go back to Brent Venables using those timeouts. This is why he did. He has a lot of confidence in how quickly they execute, and the fact that Dillon Gabriel has such a great handle. Look at this. Still a minute to go. They're inside the 20.
Only taking 52 seconds to get this close, and they'll run the ball again with Major. Murphy wraps him up. If you're going to run it, you do have to have a little urgency between plays.
Yeah, and again, I think it speaks volumes about how fast they go, that they're not panicking. They're not going recklessly fast.
Anthony off to the left, and there is a whistle and a flag.
And right guard, actually right tackle moved. Guyton.
It's been a really clean first half for the Longhorns, or for the Sooners. The Longhorns have had 6 penalties. That's just the 3rd for Oklahoma.
This false start's going to be a potential 10-second runoff because the clock was running.
False start, offense, number 60, 5-yard penalty. Still second down. This foul also includes a 10-second runoff. Please reset the game clock to 30 seconds.
And
the clock will start with my signal.
So that suddenly changes the complexion a little bit without that timeout. They're down to 30 seconds suddenly. Walker motions out. Gabriel takes off, has a little crease, makes a man miss, still fights down inside the 10. He's short of the marker. The clock continues to run. Can't stop it with a timeout.
What a great decision, and he has such acceleration.
Now in 3rd and 2 from the pocket, backpedaling. The survey, time running out. The ball is incomplete at the 1-yard line with 2 seconds to go. Very nearly, Kirk, took too much time back there.
And the ball's dropped. He walks into the end zone. He's had such a great half here. Walker's shown what he can do, running the football, catching the ball. I just think he started to think about where to go. The fact that he's going to go score a touchdown here in the Red River rivalry. He just didn't look that in. That's the goal line. He walks in.
Jalen Ford had lost him, so Oklahoma will settle for a 26-yard attempt from Schmidt. And a timeout is taken. Yeah, there were a couple things in play. Yeah, if he catches it, he walks in. But also Gabriel, if he'd hesitate a little bit longer, you could come up empty. A 10-second runoff for the 5-yard penalty proved to be crucial. It changed things on this last drive.
He looks out to the right. Not there. Look at the blocks downfield. It's almost like he either had the option to throw it quickly or a quarterback draw. He ends up running the football the very next play. You got the matchup. You got it what you want. Creating once again, off schedule by Gabriel once again. You don't think these points are important? In this Red River rivalry, the team leading at half has won 10 of the last 12 games in this series. So pretty big deal. And OU does get the ball to start the second half.
Last year's 49-zip blowout was an aberration. Before that, the last 8 had been one-score football games.
Feels like we're definitely headed there today.
This time Schmidt will deal with an angle from just inside the left hash. Right through. So in that frantic first quarter, neither offense really had much rhythm. That changed in the second quarter. 23 combined points, and Oklahoma trots up the tunnel with a 20-17 lead at the break of the 119th Red River rivalry. Everything you hope for and what you expect when these two teams get together. And here's Holly with Brent Venables.
Well, Coach, the start of this game was so chaotic. How do you feel like your team finally was able to settle into some kind of rhythm?
Yeah, I say embrace the chaos. You know, we talked about that a lot. And, you know, pressure's a privilege. Chaos is what this game's all about, always has been. But you want to have poise under pressure. And I thought for the most part we did. We gave up a couple of drives there in the second quarter. I thought they got some momentum back. But a really great job there. You'd love to converted there and made that a touchdown, but a great job by Zach, the middle 8, sitting in a solid position there, and again, getting the ball back in the third quarter.
Thank you so much, Coach. Appreciate you.
Yeah, you bet.
Thoughtful, analytical, and thorough at the end of the first half is Brent Venables. Embrace the chaos. Pressure is a privilege. All the catchphrases coming out here. The State Farm halftime report is coming up after these messages, 20-17 at the break. For more in the second half, the All-State Red River rivalry on ABC, presented by Head & Shoulders. This presentation of the Big 12 on ESPN. Final chapter of this great rivalry in this conference. Wow, what an eventful first half. Back and forth. Oklahoma's going to get the ball to start the second half, and maybe we'll get a chance to see these two quarterbacks and offenses build on what they did in the second quarter, because Gabriel's going to get the ball, and the guy who has a deep connection and trust with Jeff Lebby, his play caller. We've seen that kind of on display as this game has kind of gotten going.
Yeah, it took a little bit for the kind of the flow of the game to settle in, just because there were so many different things with the special teams. But now we're starting to get there. And I'll tell you, Dillon Gabriel's legs are a major factor for Texas. You know, something that they've got to come up with some answers. And I think he was able to maneuver around and keep a lot of plays alive. Think about him, you think of a quick delivery, getting the ball out, great understanding of Levy's scheme. But he has shown this year, and really a lot of his career, that you better account for him when he takes off and creates.
And the guy starting his 43rd game in a row, by the way, unable to play a year ago and making the most of this chance. Stone's kickoff is deep. Holly, what do you have?
Well, just got up with Steve Sarkisian, and two of his most important offensive players are very limited for this second half. Center Jake Majors is emergency-only usage with a left ankle injury. Jatavion Sanders, their do-everything tight end, is very limited, and we will not see much of him. So how they respond from that is a huge factor right now. He did feel like they gained some rhythm offensively. He said, I wish we would have executed better. And when I asked him if we'd see more trickeration in the second half, he gave me a big smile. Oh, Holly, you know me. I like to have fun.
Gabriel, little option look. Major on the edge is dragged down after a short gain by Sorrell.
Not to mention, you mentioned injuries on the offensive side, but with Catalan still out, Derek Williams, too, is in this game as a true freshman and very capable of making plays.
Farouk's in the backfield. He's got it. Speedy around the edge, and it's a first down. Oklahoma starting fast.
That direct snap to him, we saw it in the first half, and because he gets around the edge so much faster with the direct snap, they're able to seal the edge. And nice to see Drake Stoops, who's such a physical slot receiver, out front there leading the way.
Play fake. Gabriel makes a long throw to the near sideline and a hands catch across the 40-yard line. Looks like it's Andrew Anthony.
What a strong arm. You know, he can deliver the ball. Doesn't his mechanics, I know he's from Hawaii, he's left-handed, not the tallest. He does, his mannerisms, the way he moves around, does remind you of Tua.
Absolutely. Marcus Mariota is the guy that really inspired Gabriel the most as a young guy in Hawaii. Heard that Heisman Trophy speech when he reached out to all the Polynesian kids, telling them to dream big, and he did. Flips short of the middle. Stogner reaches out a big hand, makes the catch, and he's wrestled down by a bunch of Longhorns, including Jalen Ford, but a first down near midfield.
Close to a hold there, but they did not call it on the right guard. There's some penetration off on the right side. Good job by Byron Murphy getting in there, but Collier ended up, I thought they were going to call it. They let it go, and nice throw there by Gabe.
Gabriel on the slant. Catch made by Stoops and serenaded, as he always is when he touches the ball by the crowd here, the son of the legend.
Absolutely. And he's out there because he's a great football player, not because of his dad.
That hit caused the ball to come loose, and then he landed on top of it. It's an incomplete pass.
Under further review.
He got hit hard.
Thompson, yeah.
Yeah. I thought he maybe completed the process. The umpire was right there to call it a catch. Right into traffic. Has it initially, but what a hit there to jar that loose by, you said, Chris Jaron Thompson, kind of the quarterback of that secondary.
Stoops tried to sell it like he caught it darn well. The ball hit the ground and came up. I'll tell you, Kirk, we've seen it from the very first snaps of this game, and it's not a surprise, but it just reinforces what this rivalry is all about. Guys are hitting harder, arriving faster. It's no wonder some guys have gone down with injuries in this game with the tempo.
Yeah, it's the hardest hitting game we've had a chance to be. We did a Texas-Bama game, but this has a different feel to it with how hard these safeties and linebackers are hitting people.
We assume that replay is going to clean that up. Richard Brown is in the booth. It'll be 2nd and 10 back at the OU 49 after they do fix it. They got the stop near the end of the half. The Sooners defense forcing the field goal. They preserve time. Gabriel right down the field. Now a chance to build on the 3-point lead before Ewers gets the ball back.
Incomplete pass. It will be 2nd down at the previous spot.
You know, the middle 8 is something that Dabo Swinney popularized at Clemson when Venables was there, and now he's preaching it. The last 4 minutes of the first half, first 4 of the second half. If you own those 8 minutes, the chances are very good you win the game. He's trying to make that a reality here this afternoon again by building on this lead. Walker's the back. It is 2nd and 10 after the review. Walker makes his way again. hard to bring him down. And Anthony Hill just I'm not going to do anything but wrap you up and body slam you. That is some strength by the freshman.
It is some strength, but it's a good push by OU's offensive line. The key to this game for Texas was their defensive line being difference makers.
On 3rd and 2, they flip it to Stoops, who reaches back, makes the catch, and they move the 6 to the 37.
They slid him right out of the backfield. Set up a nice pick or kind of a rub there by Farouk off the right. Stoops getting up talking.
Gabriel, long throw near side. Anthony spins free of one tackler, wrestled down at the 25. Another first down.
What those wide throws like that in this offense, not only is it a great completion in a first down, but it really stretches the Texas defense horizontally. Eventually gives you a chance to take some shots to Farouk downfield and other receivers downfield.
Off the fake, Gabriel across the middle. And then Stogner, the tight end, knocked down at the 14. I like how Jeff Levy says that it goes back to the days of Art Wiles and Baylor. Make them defend every blade of grass on the field.
And that's the theory, because you look at the formations, you look at how they attack out on the perimeter, makes you have to respect things out wide, and then they gut you into the middle.
Keeper. Gabriel follows a block and now skips out of bounds at the 8-yard line.
And as a defender, you don't know if it's coming or going. When the ball's getting thrown quickly outside, and you're going tempo, and they take vertical shots, and the quarterback's running off of a fake, it's a lot to deal with.
2 backs in the backfield. Hand it off to Walker, who plows ahead. It's 1st and goal, OU.
I think the secret sauce to this offense, there's offenses around the country. There's about 5 or 6 of them that run this style. When the quarterback's involved in the run game, it makes it almost impossible to deal with a quarterback that can run and throw.
2-back look again. Stoops just a decoy, and they run Walker down to the 1.
Yeah, that was the same look where they threw him the ball out in the flat. He has the option to pull that and flip it out to Stoops, or give it a time he decides to give it. They came very close to punching that in.
They'll huddle up here, but no substitutions, so Texas unable to get fresh bodies on for this 2nd and goal play. Walker. Touchdown, Oklahoma. They stretch the lead with their first possession of the second half. Take it 75 yards in 13 plays.
Good job here. Throw Stogner in there as well. Offensive line doing their job, and again the tough running by Walker, who dropped that potential touch.
And what a difference last year. Of course, Gabriel unable to play. Davis, Bevel, the Pitt transfer was thrown in there. They just couldn't get anything going on offense. And different story today with a healthy quarterback and a lot of balance.
Yeah, what a incredible difference. 2nd year in Brent Venables' system and recruiting and culture, and just making this team more representative of what he envisioned when he took over.
Out rushing Texas today, which is a surprise given what they've done coming in. Robinson slips away from a few tacklers, and Dillon Robinson will be wrestled down to the 26. Zach Schmidt, the kicker, got down there and got involved. Ready, Kirk, Tuesday? Dropping a puck in a new NHL season, a triple-header on ESPN. Preds and the Lightning. Bucks against Crosby and the Penguins. And then the Vegas Golden Knights, defending champions, host the Kraken. All games on ESPN+.
How the Avs looking this year?
Bounce back here, I would think.
Yeah.
So plenty of talent.
The Jackets are major bounce back. Hopefully they stay healthy.
They're perennial bounce back.
Come on, man.
Ewers trying to get things going here. And they're down by 10 for the first time this season. They test the middle, and that's Danny Stutzman, who just swarmed in there. Now, Stutzman, not 100% today, Kirk, but fighting through it.
I love to watch this guy play football. I mean, he is a throwback. In a weekend where Dick Butkus has passed away, and we're all thinking about him and his family, Stutzman is a linebacker that would make Dick very proud with how physical he is.
Indeed. Ewers a second down throw. It's complete across the middle. And Gunnar Helm has been a key figure today. He talked about him having to pick up with Jatavian Sanders not able to offer much. Makes another catch. It's 3rd and short now.
That ball was very fortunate not to be touched by Stutzman and potentially intercepted. A lot of movement in the pocket by Ewers, and he throws from his left all the way back to the right. And I don't know if he didn't see Stutzman. And if he did, I mean, you're talking about an inch or two that he's able to avoid him.
This is important. Texas got to get something going on offense. Their defense needs a rest on 3rd and 2. The catch is made by Sanders. Back out there, toughing it out. And big number 0 moves the sticks out across the 40.
Watch Helm, who scored the touchdown. And to the right, look how open he is. He's got this. That shows you how much he loves Sanders. He's going to Sanders no matter what.
Sanders throws a block there, but not enough to protect the quarterback for long. Ethan Downs has been big off the edge. We wondered, is there an elite pass rusher in this game? There really wasn't coming in, but Downs has made a big impact today.
He sure did. And that's a tough block there for Sanders, who's coming over from the right over to the left. And I'll tell you what's impressive there is Downs worked through first the tight end, Gunnar Helm, and then eventually Sanders coming over there.
4th sack allowed by this Longhorn offensive line. Suddenly it's 2nd and 16. Screen. And they get a few yards, about 5 of it back. It's Whittington.
Sark trying to find a way to slow down this front. They are really aggressive, doing a really good job of disrupting things, playing with a lot of confidence with this 10-point lead.
See if they come after Ewers here. 3rd down and 12. They bring the pressure. Ewers steps up, thinks about running. He'll take off. No way he's going to get there. Lost the ball. It comes loose, still rolling around, and Oklahoma has it. Gentry Williams had an early pick. Now he's got a fumble recovery right at midfield.
Peyton Bowen, the true freshman, causes that with a major hit. This guy's a true freshman. This is what you fear when a quarterback takes off. Keeping the ball in tight, he did. But the freshman, who they say is a superstar in the making, comes up, unloads into Ewers, and knocks that ball loose.
He made an impact first as a special teamer. Bowen has blocked 2 punts this season. Now he forces the 3rd turnover by Ewers today. The 2 early picks. And then when he had gotten a rhythm, gotten going, the fumble. And now this is a big moment for the Texas defense.
Sudden change, plus territory. We're actually right at the 50. Does Levy roll the dice here, try to create one-on-one, and maybe take a shot downfield?
They've got a fleet of speedsters on the field to work with. They fake it to Walker. Gabriel rolls, gets around the quarter. Ooh, he's dragged down. Nice tackle by Jahdae Barrett in the open field to prevent a bigger gain.
Yeah, I think one of the more underrated players on the Texas defense. Good effort. He chased that all the way from the backside, showed his speed. One of the leaders when you get really close to this team. I like how he plays with a bit of a chip on his shoulder.
A
lot of pressure on his Texas defense to step up after that turnover.
Gabriel has a lot of time, checks it down, and the catch is made in traffic by Walker, so it's going to be 3rd down and long. Jalen Ford right there to make the stop. Texas, see if they slow the tempo a bit here.
Yeah. Texas sitting back here on these first couple plays, more zone, trying to keep things in front, trying to make Gabriel have to hold on to the football. Let's see if they elect to dial it up here. They're going to bring in Anthony Hill. You see him as a pass rusher. Got him up the top.
Gabriel gets the ball out in a hurry. It's incomplete. Tried to find Andrew Anthony on the slant. Terrence Brooks broke it up, and that is an enormous stop for a defense down 10 off the turnover.
It didn't impact the play, but just to give you an idea, Kwiatkowski, the defensive coordinator, I just said they sat back, a little more conservative first 2 plays. That time, they sensed this point in the game down 10. They wanted to try to apply pressure, even though Gabriel got the ball out quickly. Heck of a job by the Horns D. Get that 3 and out after the turnover by Ewers.
They bring in their specialists in these situations. Luke Elzinga, a Central Michigan transferred punter, and he's the best at knocking the ball deep. And Texas, fair catch there. Worthy chose to take the ball at the 5-yard line. So Horns defense gets a stop, but the Sooners still up by 10 here at the Texas State Fair, where there's no shortage of food options.
Get you a corny dog.
The All-State Red River Rivalry on ABC, presented by Head & Shoulders, is brought to you by Ram Trucks, America's best light-duty pickup for new vehicle quality.
The golden hat awaits the winners. I love that piece of tradition here. Some guys wear it better than others. Taco Bell Live Más Student Section of the Year contest. You can download the Taco Bell app to learn more. Well, Texas offense operating from their end of the field should have cooperation from the home crowd. But this Oklahoma defense, Kirk, as you said, they are operating with a lot of confidence and bringing serious pressure on the quarterback. Try to mitigate that with the running game, but off the edge. It's a nice play there made.
Doing a good job.
Kelly.
A lot of movement. A lot of rotating of bodies, staying fresh up front. Ewers right now, you know, when you're backed up at your own 5-yard line, you're just trying to get a first down and get out of there. But they're going to at some point have to stretch this defense. They're just attacking too much downfield or downhill, causing a lot of problems against the run game, the short pass game.
Ewers from the end zone does try to stretch the field, and wide open is Xavier Worthy on the edge. He got away from Woody Washington.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure Sark's sensitive feeling what we're talking about is they're taking away everything underneath and they're collapsing down. At some point, you got to make them pay for that by getting the ball thrown downfield and stretching things downfield.
Fourth catch for Worthy, worth 81 yards. Ewers pressured, harassed, and flushed immediately, and delivers the outlet throw to Gunnar Helm, has become a big part of things this afternoon.
Boy, a heck of a job here, just somehow getting away from this pressure right here in the middle. I mean, maybe without your leader, Lee Majors inside there, Kelly able to get in there in a hurry.
And off, running right. Brooks makes a cut. Bangs into Oklahoma territory. Crucial possession for the Longhorns to try to get momentum turned back their way.
It's nice to see 24, if you're a Texas fan, just have a little bit of space to work with. If he gets one-on-one with a defensive back, he's going to make you miss. That time he made a couple defensive backs miss. Gentry Williams, along with Reggie Pearson, both with him, trying to tackle number 24.
19-yard gain. Ewers has a lot of time, which hasn't happened very often today. Delivers a long throw on the far side. Adonai Mitchell makes the catch, and they pick up 6 on first down.
Yeah, good job up front. Offensive line that time, as you said, we haven't seen him have that kind of time very much. And it's nice to see Mitchell get his hands on the football.
Brooks makes a cut, as he does so often, just finds room in the middle, falls forward, another first down.
This looks like more of what you'd expect. You know, they're buried inside their own 5-yard line, and that big throw to Worthy seemed to really ignite this drive, and now they got a little bit of rhythm and momentum here.
Off the play fake, Ewers checks it down. Brooks again, makes a man miss, shows the strength, and he's down near the marker. Billy Bowman eventually brought him down.
Just get him the ball in space. He's going to come out of the backfield. And again, this defense, watch the backers sink. They want to make sure everything downfield, the threat of Mitchell. So that's okay. Let's make them miss. Wow. If he takes away Mitchell or the tight end behind, they're going to sink in coverage. I love that Ewers made a quick decision, just got the ball out quickly.
Backs are in to give Brooks a breather, and the young fellow's going to be swarmed behind the line. DeJohn Terry, who had been out of the game, is back in, making the play.
Usually known as a guy that just eats blocks, but with them reaching, you see that offensive line working to their right, trying to reach. He's able to sneak in and penetrate into a gap.
You need 6 on third. Let's see if Sarkisian is thinking about 2 plays to pick this up. Hand it off inside and knocked down 2 yards short of the marker is Baxter. Canick got him down. So far, the offense is staying out there on 4th down.
Yeah, he's reading McCullough on an RPO. The read gave him an indicator to hand that football off.
Savion Red has come into the game. He's been the running back used frequently today as a wildcat quarterback, running and throwing. By the way, 3 for 3 on 4th down. Red's played a big role in that. And a penalty before the snap.
False start. Offense. Number 62. 5-yard penalty. Still 4th down.
It makes it 4th and 8, and that'll change Sarkisian's thinking as the field goal team trots out.
Yeah, it's on the center. Robertson there.
Again, filling in for Jake Majors, the top offensive lineman on this team, who was down with a leg injury early. So here comes Bert Auburn from 45. Made good on a chip shot earlier, but he struggled in recent weeks from distances just like this. In a swirling wind, he drives it through. That's an important field goal for Texas as they cut it to a 7-point margin. 1:53 in the third. 67-yard drive. Ends in 3. College football playoff national championship trophy presented by Dr. Pepper. Hanging out here at the State Fair. I guess its home is what, Grapevine nearby here with the
That's right.
Headquarters.
Yeah.
January 8th in Houston is the championship game. So Texas was backed up at the beginning of that drive, way back at the 5-yard line, moved it down the field. The big conversion to Worthy there got him in position, and Auburn drives it through to make it a 7-point game. Curtis Wilson on the All-State bus. Made an appearance in Dallas. Now he's headed up to Seattle here. What's your All-State good hands play this weekend?
Oh, usually we're calling a night game, and it's easy to survey the whole country.
Oh, wow.
So we're going to go way back to 01 in a 7-3 game late in this game. Roy Williams, the Superman play against Chris Sims, knocked that ball into the air, and Teddy Lehman caught it in the air, secured victory for the Sooners and Bob Stoops.
One of those special teams plays by Texas. They fielded the punt way down inside the 10-yard line. That set that up. Sooners back to work. Farouk finds the edge. Look out. He can fly. Knocked out across the 40. A couple of steps away from really busting loose.
Boy, great job by these Oklahoma receivers. Drake Stoops. Watch 12 out there. Nice block there. Good hustle downfield all around by that group. Nick Anderson, 4 involved.
Batted away. Reaching up is Alfred Collins, the tackle.
Well, we have not felt the presence of this Texas defensive front. We talked about this being a big factor in this game. How would Oklahoma deal with the Texas front? Jeff Levy and Dillon Gabriel have come up with a plan between the tempo and the different play calling. They have slowed down the front that time. Knocked down by Collins.
1 sack by the Longhorns. They've affected Gabriel a few times, but not enough. It shows some pressure here. Gabriel has time, and it's batted down again. That time it was Anthony Hill, so back-to-back bat downs. Sets up a 3rd and 10.
Actually, he does a really good job here. He can't get to him, so he just does what most good linebackers do. They play with instincts. Eyes on the ball. I can't get to him. The ball's going to be out too quickly, so it's 6-3. He almost not only knocked that down, he timed it so well. I would have been shocked if he came down with an interception.
4 of 10 are the Sooners on 3rd down. Sawchuk is in the game. Reliable pass protector. Let's see if they try to heat up Gabriel. It's Anthony coming across in motion, and a whistle and a timeout taken. Sooners spend the timeout here. Gabriel, just one of those guys that he makes all of his teammates, feel important. He's got the knack. You come to this new program, you do what Baker Mayfield did. You step in from the outside, you ingratiate yourself, you show yourself to be a leader with your hard work. But he's just got the chemistry. He's got the it factor, and he has ever since he was a high school star in Hawaii.
Yeah, he had it when he was early in his career at UCF with Jeff Levy there, and it's continued throughout. Some of those guys, you have that naturally, and he's been able to put that on display today. Oklahoma as a team playing a much cleaner game than Texas. Texas has 3 turnovers. Oklahoma doesn't have any. Texas has 7 penalties. Oklahoma only 3. And Texas has been sacked 4 times. As you mentioned, Oklahoma only giving up 1 sack.
Gabriel on his way to UCLA when Caleb Williams left Oklahoma, got into the portal. Levy called him the day before his first class at Westwood and said, guess what? And he changed rapidly his mind, and it's worked out beautifully for him. 3rd and 10. Gabriel feels the pressure, sidesteps it, escapes, and tries to get there with his legs. Gets a block on the edge, but will not get there. Fought really hard, but Derek Williams, the true freshman in for Catalan, made the tackle on the far side.
Collins right here wins, forces him out of the pocket. And then you're talking about a true freshman out in space, getting off of a potential block by Drake Stoops, and makes a play. Tell you, we're seeing glimpses of what Derek Williams has to offer to this Texas defense. Young man forced to play, and he's doing a great job.
So, well, it's 4th down, and Drill Anthony is being looked at on the far sideline by the athletic training staff. Holly?
Well, you're talking about Dillon Gabriel's growth in Hawaii. Part of it started because his father was a terrific quarterback at the University of Hawaii. He has mentored and coached this young man since he was a little kid. He did get to meet Marcus Mariota for the first time when he was in 3rd grade. He remembers it vividly, a jump rope for heart health event. He then later got a throw at St. Louis High School in Hawaii with Marcus and a bunch of other quarterbacks. And guys, it's just the beginning. There's about a dozen different quarterbacks in college football right now who grew up in Hawaii. It's really good to see, and Dillon Gabriel is making them proud.
Here's the DNA. There were guys before Mariota. Timmy Chang played at Hawaii, but it was Mariota, Tua. Those guys were from St. Louis High School. Mililani is where Dillon comes from. That's where Mackenzie Milton played, and of course he was the guy that led him to UCF and mentored him there. Kind of a big brother to Dillon.
Yeah, it's cool to see that. Cool fraternity of guys. And right now, how about the way Tua is performing? There's Anthony clearly in some pain there, getting helped off. Tua having a heck of a year this year with the Dolphins.
So how about this? The offense is on the field. They need almost 2 full yards to get to the 47.
Oh, he spreads them out.
Walker is the back. They're going to try to get Texas to flinch, but they do run a play. Gabriel throws a slant, far side, and Stoops could not come up with it. Michael Taff, a backup safety, made the play, and Texas with that stop has great field position.
Well, that's all you could hope for Dillon Gabriel. Ball to me is a little late and thrown behind downfield, but look at this cushion right here. You'll take that every single time. Ball now, a little bit late and behind. Stoops is running out of room, but he went to the right target with that cushion into the boundary.
But the wrong shoulder.
Just felt like he got it out a little bit late. Now, because you roll the dice and go for it in a rivalry game, look at the field position for Quinn Ewers and the Horns.
Ewers, by the way, has completed his last 13 passes. They have the fumble loss in the middle of that, but terrific rhythm throwing the ball. Another high percentage throw to Brooks. So he said, just get it to him in space, and he creates about a 4-yard gain.
Just take those positions all day. He wanted to go. He wanted to try to test the defense after that turnover on downs. Taken away downfield, no problem. Check it down. At least get some positive yards.
What a sudden change in this game. That decision by Venables and the stop with the incompletion has given Texas a real chance. And Brooks, the quarter, bangs through tacklers, still running, powering down inside the 35.
How about the right side of this offensive line? Campbell and Jones. Really good job on this right side. Watch them work the double team and then climb up to those backers. Look at that hole. I mean, you're letting Brooks get downhill into the teeth of that defense with speed.
What more could you ask for? 119th Red River rivalry. The Longhorns and the Sooners battling in a one-score game. 15 minutes to play. Back after this message and a word from your local ABC station. To you today by Goodyear, celebrating their challenge of road games everywhere. Are you ready for the road? Goodyear, more driven. Which side, which individual going to make the plays here in this final quarter, be remembered forever? The great history of the Red River rivalry. Longhorns at the 34. And first down. Test the middle with Brooks, and that time he is stopped for no gain. That man Jordan Kelly, who's got him on the depth chart, he came in fresh. He's been making a big impact last couple of seasons.
Yeah, talking his talk too to the Texas team, letting them know.
There's a second down run. Brooks makes a cut, wrestled down by Billy Bowman. It'll be third down and about 5.
You could argue here as we start this fourth quarter in a 27-20 game with Oklahoma with everything at stake. This is as big a quarter of college football that we've seen all year with everything that's at stake.
Biggest quarter these teams have played in a while. Right away, touch by Whittington is down to the 1-yard line. They played quick. They got him on a slant. And he found a nice crease in that zone.
Exactly right. He finds a crease, and Oklahoma, the secondary with their eyes into the backfield. Right here is the culprit. Safety moves from the middle over to the hash, and a good job of recognizing that and getting the ball out quickly. Pressure was coming from his blind side, but he bites onto the fake to give Ewers just enough time.
You're going to like this, Kirk. Big Byron Murphy and Tavondre Sweat, those studs of the defensive line, have been brought into this game to enhance the beat. Lining up in the backfield, and they hand it off to Brooks. Behind all that, they couldn't create enough space. He stopped for nothing.
Boy, good job of working around that. See all that size, no problem. He's going to get downhill and work around that. That's a great job by Kip Lewis, the redshirt freshman.
Redshirt freshman. He just threw his body in between all those 300-pounders and made a great play. Now they go to the I formation. In the fullback position, it's Murphy in front of Brooks. Takes the pitch. And they're trying to push the pile. They won't get there. Deshaun McCullough on the stop, and the Sooners really making him earn this final yard.
Hey, McCullough takes the fight to Murphy. He's not the biggest guy, but watch this hit. There's Sweat right there, but watch this collision right here. Instead of sitting back waiting, bang, he hits him and blew that play up. That's a heck of a job. The IU transfer. Guy that's been asked to play in space, kind of as a hybrid that time, going back to his old familiar down in the trenches.
Still going with the jumbo formation. They haven't gained an inch in 2 plays. Brooks again. And again, they've got him behind the line. Oklahoma rises up with Danny Stutzman combining with Deshaun McCullough. It's 4th down and goal.
Well, as big as you are, if you don't block this guy, you're not going to score running up the middle. Nobody picks up Stutzman, who's the ball hawk, the guy that makes all the tackles on this team. Smart, tough, instinctive. And you may have all that size, but you come very predictable when you go 3 straight trying to run behind the big boys.
That didn't work at all. 3 plays, they lose a yard. Another 4th down play for the Longhorns. Got to hurry here. Play clock at 4. They're trying to throw for it. Worthy! Stop short! 4 plays from the 1. They can't get in. An Oklahoma goal line stand that just became part of the lore of this rivalry. Billy Bowman got there. Wow, what a moment. Are you kidding me? What a stand.
Unbelievable.
OU protecting a 7-point lead. Back to work from the 1. They reviewed it, and the call stands. Worthy was getting grabbed around the neck by Billy Bowman. His rear end hits the ball. Is really close to breaking the plane right by.
You're talking inches, and a huge stop. Mentioned 4 times from the 1. That's how you build culture for a guy in his 2nd year of being a head coach.
But if you're Gabriel in the shotgun, halfway deep in the end zone with Walker to your left, you got to be super careful. This again is the noisy end. The Texas crowd breathing down Gabriel's neck here. Handoff for the end zone. Breaking free is Walker. He's got a lot of breathing room. A first down out across the 13.
How about that? Inside their 1-yard line. Pressure's on. You know, Texas, they're just trying to get penetration. They're trying to blow that play up in the backfield with that defensive line that they have. And instead, OU does exactly what they need to do. They get some good blocking angles and a good job of reading that play. Developed by Walker.
Delay here. You had Stogner and Ethan Burke. They had their face masks locked together from battling there on the edge. Gabriel loops it downfield. Caught. Oh, incomplete. Jaden Gibson had a step on Terrence Brooks. Had it right there. Couldn't collect it.
There's not a lot of room. Look how close he is to the sideline, but he gets a couple of steps on it. Ball is perfectly thrown. Ball could not have been placed out there any better. Look at him on that right arm. Grabbing onto it. I'm not saying that for interference. I'm saying that to how he impacted Gibson from being able to get both his arms and hands up there to make that catch. That's what you're taught as a defensive back on those fades.
Gibson, one of the big play weapons here that hasn't been involved yet today. Gabriel going to be swarmed by Anthony Hill. It's a short loss. And now a 3rd and long coming up.
That kid is a superstar, man. Hill is going to be a star in this defense. Again, a true freshman from Denton with the Ryan High School. 6'3", 234. They move him all around.
What do you like here in 3rd and 11, Coach?
At this spot on the field, the ball
out fast.
Ball better get out in a hurry.
Texas not showing pressure, and they only rush 4. And Gabriel flush out, pump fakes, takes off, and takes a big shot, but makes a first down. No sliding that time. Jett Bush hammered him, but the quarterback makes a play.
Well, they brought pressure from here, from the outside. His blind side, it's picked up by Walker. And that's just Texas. The best player on their defense, Jalen Ford, was there, but just kind of frozen.
Leaping attempt by Gibson. That time it's incomplete. A 12-yard scramble on 3rd and 11 to keep the football up 7 in the 4th quarter.
One of the big keys for Texas was we got to keep Gabriel in the pocket, especially on 3rd down. We cannot let him create. It's one thing to say it. It's another thing to go out there and have to execute. You're worried about your left, you're worried about your right, you're worried about the pass, and then here he comes. So twitchy in space.
Gabriel again takes a quick peek and then takes off. Weaves his way through traffic. He's in the loose. Dillon Gabriel finally chased down at the Texas 30. Keaton Crawford saved the touchdown, but that's the run of his life.
Again, watch the middle linebacker. He's right there, Jalen Ford. You're talking about, again, not just one of the best players on Texas, but one of the better linebackers in the country, just kind of slow to respond.
Kirk, 44 yards in that play. Gabriel, a career-high 110 yards in the Red River rivalry on the ground.
He's such an added dimension to Jeff Levy's scheme of spread and attack and tempo. So much to think about, and then you got to worry about the quarterback's legs added to that.
In Oklahoma, after making a goal line stand for the ages down there, trying to build on this lead, they've driven it from the 1 to the Texas 31. Sawchuk gets a rare carry and is swallowed up inside. It's 3rd down and long again.
What makes that tough is if you start worrying about the run game, you start worrying about him as a threat, you start putting your eyes in the backfield, they've got the receivers, and if you leave a one-on-one, we saw Jaden Gibson had a one-on-one chance against Brooks. It was a great route, great throw. He just unable to hold on to it. But when you start worrying about him taking off and running, you're going to give yourself up to potential one-on-one shots downfield vertically.
very much in fringe field goal range for Schmidt if they don't gain a yard here in 3rd and 10. But it's Stogner making the catch. They get closer. He's a few yards short as Jaron Thompson got into the ground. There's an Oklahoma lineman still down on the field there. It looks like it's McCade Toyer, a right guard. But that pass designed to set up Schmidt in more comfortable field goal range. What a drive. Backed up to the 1. Muscles it down the field. 72 yards to set up a field goal try here. Senior guard off. His entire teammates coming across to wish him well. Poignant when it happens to a senior, one of the guys who's started for 3 years in the middle of the offensive line. Texas fans joining Oklahoma fans, by the way, on their feet to applaud the big fella. 4th and 5. They will kick the field goal here. Zach Schmidt, reliable in his career between 40 and 49. He's made 8 of 10. This is from 45 to make it a double-digit lead. And it will slide wide right. Schmidt, a close call, but Texas still within 7 with 7:55 to play. Wind swirling a bit in here. Don't know if it was a factor. It just drifted outside that right upright.
The All-State Red River rivalry on ABC is presented by Head & Shoulders. Make every wash count. In part by All-State, you're in good hands. And Chili's 3 for Me, the best $10.99 you can eat.
Quinn Ewers was a young kid watching the game in the crowd. As he got to high school, he dreamed, Kirk, he might have a chance to be here and play part. Last year was a rout. This year has been tough and dramatic, and Ewers, who had 2 of his first 6 pass attempts intercepted today, is now in a run of 17 straight completions.
Shown a lot of grit here. This game was a tough start for him in the offense.
Brooks stacked up near the line of scrimmage by Jacob Lacey.
See if
3rd down.
Take advantage of that. Oh, we got a penalty here. Late penalty at the pile. Obviously going to be a dead ball foul. It's just which way is it going to go?
Christian Jones, the right tackle, making his 41st start. He was number 70 on Texas, involved somewhat in this.
He may potentially.
Texas players say it's on OU, Kirk.
Okay. Well, Trace Ford was tangled up with him, and I don't know, looked like he was kicking to get him off of him. Trace Ford went down.
This is a really important call.
Oh my gosh, huge.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, necessary roughness, defense number 30.
Yeah.
15-yard penalty and automatic first down.
Instead of 3rd and 4, it's an automatic first down. The football will move near midfield.
I think he pushes him initially. It was that, and then you can see the reaction by Texas's Christian Jones retaliating back. A lot of times they'll offset because of the retaliation, but it goes strictly on Ford. So it would have been a 3rd down, and now you're first down yardage.
And Adewapure is in the game, Kirk. You'll be happy about that. Young guys on the defensive line for Oklahoma, number 34.
Talented young man.
Just call him Double A.
Double A.
Too, yeah. So one of those loss of poise penalties for the Sooners, and Longhorns set up for the 47. They fake it to Brooks. The flag is down. Ewers across the middle, whips it high. Tried to get it to Whittington. Incomplete. The flag was out very quickly.
It's on Mitchell. His motion, he started to lean before the ball was snapped. Started to cheat towards the line of scrimmage. Illegal shift.
Illegal motion. Offense number 5, moving forward at the snap. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
So they'll take the penalty, moving back 5 instead of the incompletion.
Keep waiting for him to make the play,
I was
right?
Say that.
Yeah, here he is in motion. Watch how he starts a little bit too early. That's why the flag came out so quickly.
Just 2 catches for 17 yards for Mitchell. Ewers on 1st and 15, feels pressure, rolls back to his right and flips it. There's Whittington, who makes the catch, knocked out at the 40 for a first down by Bowman.
Boy, does he have that quick flick. You know, that ball gets out of his hands so nicely. Good job. This is where that mobility comes into play. See, that safety starts to come down to appreciate the threat of Ewers maybe scrambling. It created a big lane behind him. Easy throw, an easy read.
18th consecutive completion ties Ewers with Colt McCoy. That's 19 of the new record. Whittington gets a block and is being wrestled down inside the 30 by Bowman. Holly?
Guys, major injury news right now. Gentry Williams, the starting cornerback for the Sooners, has been taken to the locker room. In his place, Kendall Doby is out there right now, number 15. Keep your eye on the secondary.
Williams had a big afternoon. Made the pick early. Now Brooks makes a cut in space. Brooks accelerates. Texas touchdown. Jonathan Brooks having a Bijan Robinson type afternoon. Pick it up with the Longhorn great left off. 29-yard touchdown. A point away from tying this football game.
You got to win on the edge. Ogbo in, number 80 at tight end. He's a glorified offensive lineman. Look at the patience and then be able to get upfield vertically. That is just Jonathan Brooks in a nutshell, and he points to that forearm of his, appreciating his late father.
Auburn. Low kick, drives it through. So Texas, off that narrow miss on the field goal, takes it 73 yards and 5 plays. And honoring his father with a touchdown that you know must be appreciating. Tie ball game. All right, thank you guys. Fierce, physical, what you'd expect. This feels like 2 heavyweights. Texas earned that status by winning earlier at Alabama. Oklahoma still ranked outside the top 10, trying to show that it belongs in that conversation. And this is Farouk from the 3. Jalil Farouk. Ooh. Flashes that speed. Will Stone, the kickoff man, had to force him out of bounds. Back to the touchdown.
Let's go back to this. And again, Jonathan Brooks with the patience, some great blocks, lets the blocks set themselves up. He's emerging as one of the top running backs to me in college football, and what he's been able to do, balancing out this offense with Ewers in his passing game. Look at the emotion. This kid plays with a lot of composure. Had the 2 turnovers early, fought through it. There you see his emotion, and there's Jonathan Brooks pointing to that date, 3/18/22, when he lost his dad.
Spire performance. This is Stoops on the end around, makes a cut, and dragged down after a solid first-down game. Walker made a block on the edge.
This is where legacies are built, right? Rivalry game, 27-27, under 6 minutes to go. Both teams undefeated.
Oklahoma had a chance to go up double digits. That narrow miss on the field goal. Now it's a tie game and a swarming play. Tavondre Sweat got out to the edge, got Walker to the ground, and now it's 3rd down and 5.
Boy, that's a great job of getting off the block. You know, such size, a double team. See how he extends with his arms, sheds the block. Again, you got to keep in mind, he's 362 pounds to be able to be that nimble and quick and being able to get off that block.
Gabriel dealing with the noise at this left end of the stadium. Sanson delivers, but a high fastball, and Stogner couldn't come up with it. Gabriel and this offense, Kirk, have not been able to click in some crucial potential conversions here in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, when you're on the right hash and you go into the boundary, there's just not a lot of room to work. And you got to get that ball out in a hurry. And instead of it getting out on time, he makes up for it by throwing it with a lot of velocity. Tough ask for Stogner to worry about, am I going to get my feet in? And then here comes a 95-mile-an-hour fastball coming right at you.
There's Xavier Worthy awaiting the punt of Josh Plaster. Special teams have been not just important, but adventurous today. Plaster kind of bobbled this snap. It's a low kick, which will bounce And Worthy fields it just at the last second. Bearing down on him was Peyton Bowen, that freshman special team star. A risky play for the veteran and a crucial 50-yard punt for Plaster.
Well, Bowen blocked those 2 punts earlier. He's got a bright future. He was hoping that Worthy might try to put his hands on it.
Mentioned legacy, Skirt.
Here we go.
Now it's Ewers' turn. A disastrous start to this game. He's recovered nicely. Got a record string of consecutive completions going, 19 in a row. 4:49 to play in regulation. He's got Brooks, the hot hand behind him. They fake it to him. Ewers launching downfield for Worthy. Coming back, and it's broken up beautifully by Woody Washington. Longhorns wanted a flag. There isn't one.
Well, I think Worthy, if he would have stopped running downfield and worked even harder back to the football, he could have drawn a potential penalty. There's contact there. Bill, what do you think? I mean, super slow-mo, it looks like obvious pass interference, but in real time, what do you think?
Real time, I thought it was a good play, but watching that angle there, he got into him early with the body, even though he turned back for the ball.
Worthy this time settles in the zone, makes the catch. The string is snapped at 19 straight completions, but Ewers shakes it off right back to work.
Yeah, that's who he is, right? Comes right back to an RPO, gets the ball out in a hurry. Should mention, Key Lawrence is no longer playing safety. He's now playing corner.
Ewers
right there
again finds a man open. It's Worthy in space, picking on the man you mentioned.
Yeah, that's what the reason I bring that up is he's a safety. This is a really tough thing to ask of a safety, to be out there on an island. If Quinn Ewers and Stark, I think they attack him, especially if you don't have safety support behind him.
Playing fast, Ewers looking to launch again, and now he'll just check it down. Brooks on the edge. Plows forward there at midfield. Picked up another nice chunk on first down.
Holly mentioned Dolby going in for Gentry Williams. Now that Dolby's on the sideline, they've moved Lawrence in there. And when you're a safety, moving the corner, now Dolby actually comes back into the game.
Brooks, patient, very patient. Finally will muscle right near the marker. Interesting how you play this now. Oklahoma's got a couple timeouts, 3.5 minutes. The clock can move pretty quickly with the new rules. Outside of 2 minutes here. How much of in a hurry does Sark want to be at this moment?
I don't think he is. Oklahoma spent one of their timeouts earlier. You stay with your game plan. You know, you're mixing up the tempos.
Brooks cuts forward, falls forward for about 4.
It's still some big-time collisions going on down there. Instead of Stutzman, that time it's Kanik meeting him in the hole, with positive yards for the Horns on that 1st and 10 play.
You're playing with tempo here, believing they got the Sooners defense kind of on the ropes. On the slant, Worthy makes the catch, absorbs a hit from Bowen, holds on, and it's a first down to the 35.
Yeah, they used the motion, and I think that affects things. Stutzman ends up coming down. You see this motion by Sanders. Now watch Stutzman blitz here. Good job seeing that by Ewers. Look at that vacancy right behind that blitz.
Saw the collision, as you said. It's been featured from the first snap, and Bowman took the shot from the receiver. He tried to get up and play through it, then he just went down to one knee. Already very depleted in the secondary. And this is exactly what you expect to see, as so many games before it in these series. Hard hits, wild plays, wacky stuff. A number of plays that could potentially be part of the lore and legacy of this game and these individual guys. And now here we go. 2.5 to go. Texas on the march.
2.5 to go. This is not a point in the game where you're worried about, hey, let's kill some clock. Now, if you get down inside the 20 and you start to put that point, think about maybe that consideration. But right now, that is not the case at all. They're just trying to continue to execute. Been so impressed with Quinn Ewers today. You know, playing quarterback is not just about throwing it around in shorts and a t-shirt. You know, when he was in high school, he got a lot of fanfare, a lot of recognition. When you really earn your stripes as a quarterback, a guy, you think of any NFL guy who's become a legend, it's what you do in these kind of moments. Leading a football team, going through, throwing a couple picks early. withstanding that, enduring that, and continuing to play with poise. That's what we've seen today from number 3.
Longhorns asking for quiet from their crowd. Bowman taken to the sidelines. And first down, Ewers is going to be swallowed up and sacked. Jacob Lacey, the Notre Dame transfer, 6th sack.
Yeah, they slant this defensive line right through this gap right here. Affects the communication. He kind of gets lost there. Keep in mind now you got the backup center, who, by the way, has done a heck of a job. Connor Robertson in for Jake Majors. It's the first time we've really seen some penetration there, and it was the slant. Good call there by Brent Venables.
Using the depth on this defense, something they didn't have a year ago. Worthy on the edge, gets a couple blocks, cuts, and that was a nice play. Cutting inside was Peyton Bowen, that freshman, to prevent a bigger gain.
Here we go. 3rd down.
Not in field goal range yet. They need 9.
A lot of rotating, continuing with the rotation of the bodies up front for Oklahoma. They need to affect Ewers by getting penetration, trying to get him off his spot. Mitchell down here. We keep calling for him, Chris, down here at the bottom. Going to get a timeout.
Oklahoma will spend a timeout. Clock ticking down. Ball's at the 35. That would make it about a 52-yard field goal attempt for Bert Auburn. He wasn't trying it from that distance in warm-up. Anything sort of beyond 45, 48 yards is tricky. Here's the Goodyear college football rankings. Have been talking about that Ohio State battle, but they pulled away now. 20-point lead against Maryland.
Yeah, you knew Maryland had the offense to potentially challenge Ohio State, but looks like they've settled in. Florida State, Virginia Tech coming up next on ABC. The C at the bottom. It's one of those days you just kick your feet up and watch college football all day, like every Saturday. Notre Dame and Louisville coming up later tonight. Irish getting challenged for the 3rd week in a row. Ohio State game, the Duke game last week, and now on the road against undefeated Jeff Brom in Louisville.
The Texas offense out there. Sooners still huddled up with Venables on their sideline. So they spent the timeout there and have 1 to work with the rest of the way. Just on the outer fringe of field goal range for this 3rd and 9. Brooks breaks a tackle. He's wrestled down inside the 30. And Sarkisian clearly, well, hoping his back would bust one, as he has a lot, but playing for an improved field goal try here. Oklahoma spends their last timeout with 1:22.
No, it's the beauty of having a runner that can get some tough yards for you. You're right. You think of Sark, you think of maybe throwing it, maybe trusting a quarterback, maybe drawing up a ball play to get a one-on-one matchup. Instead, he goes more the conservative route on 3rd down just to give himself a better chance at this potential go-ahead score. OU now out of timeouts. More than anything, remember how quickly they can move, though. Their offense, 1:22, if they're executing, that's not the issue, even though they're out of timeouts.
So Auburn made a couple today. It's been a tricky, swirling wind. Could have played a part in the narrow miss by Schmidt for Oklahoma earlier in the quarter. Pre-game, this direction was kicking into a pretty stiff breeze. It looks to me like it's died down a little bit.
And Sark's sending the offense out now.
Wow.
Yeah, so I don't know if he's got the timeout, so I don't know if he's messing around here, going to try to draw him off, try to get a cheap one here to get a 1st down, and then call a timeout late, or what he's doing.
Sooners were running around. They had the field goal block team out there trying to get a defense set up, see if they run a play. They are nowhere near organized. Longhorns need 4 if they snap it. It looks like they're just trying to.
Yeah, he's just trying to
get the Sooners to jump. We will spend a timeout, worth a try.
We're sitting here talking about the kid. I'm looking at the huddle. I'm like, wait a second, 3? Is he? There's no way he'd go for this.
OU wasn't fooled ultimately.
Well, this is why you practice, right? You're over on that far field as a specialist during those dog days of summer, over there working, focused, getting ready for this kind of opportunity. You dream about this opportunity as a kicker. You hope it comes down to a tie game, and there's Sark talking to him.
Quarterbacks have their dreams.
Jeff Banks
pitchers have their kind of dreams too.
Yeah.
Sark was with him pregame, trying to loosen him up, instill confidence. You know, Auburn has missed a couple in recent weeks. He's been solid so far today. Dead center from 47 yards to put the Longhorns in front with 1:22 to go. Drives it. Clutch. Auburn, with plenty of distance to spare, comes up big. Texas was down 10. He's now up 3. Dillon Gabriel, your turn. No timeouts, but 1:17 to play with.
And that is clutch. Auburn just steps right into the moment and doesn't flinch. Beautiful Texas guy. That ball goes right through the uprights. What a day for Sark and Jeff Banks, a special teams coordinator, and how much of an impact. It's not over, but the specialists have had that third phase of the game for the Horns. Remember, OU at the end of the first half had a 9-play, 67-yard drive. Ended up at a field goal. It took about 1:53. Now they got 1:15 or so here.
Mentioned the special teams. And the block punt ended up in a touchdown. They had the fake punt executed, and rock solid today. Bird Auburn 3 for 3. Gabriel has lost, I think, a little bit of rhythm here in the fourth quarter, Kirk. OU hasn't scored. A couple of makeable throws on 3rd and 4th down conversions.
Yeah, but this kid wants this moment as well.
He's built for this.
Woody Washington coming down the corner to talk to him. It's a guy that didn't get to play in this game last year. Now he's down 3 with no timeouts.
Can Farouk create some field position? Very dangerous returner today. Stone drives it right through the back of the end zone, says forget the return. So here we go. Dillon Gabriel denied the chance to be on this field. Ripped his heart out to have to watch with a concussion. And be a hero in the Red River rivalry.
Offensive line has some backups in there. They've got to hold up, give him time. But they are built not only for this because of their moxie and their attitude, but their scheme. They go as fast as anybody in the country. So the first thing they need is that first down to get their tempo going.
How aggressive will Texas play it? They only rush 3, dropping the coverage. Gabriel across the middle, and it's complete for a first down. He found Stoops.
Put your seatbelt on. That's what they wanted. Now just a matter of getting lined up. Texas got to be ready to be aggressive, not be conservative, sitting back.
Long throw, catch made. Farouk makes one man miss, and suddenly in a couple of plays, they're in Texas territory.
That's 2 plays, and he gets out of bounds. I mean, that's what this offense can do for you. Farouk now, 130 yards on the day receiving.
Gabriel, pocket collapsing, he escapes, flips it across the middle, and Stoops running free. And the legend's son moves the football down into the red zone in the final minute.
Boy, Jalen Ford came up. Remember, he's been lost when Gabriel's run. That time he came up, and it opened up the throw to Stoops.
Gabriel pump fake, launching for the end zone, incomplete. There was a battle on the far sideline, and a flag comes out. Brooks was defending Nick Anderson.
Well, slant and go, and Brooks essentially tackles him because he bit on the slant. As he went by him, he just grabbed onto him, so a good call by the officials.
Pass interference, defense, number 8. Automatic first down, just by the foul.
Well, Gabriel and his playmakers have moved the ball down in 28 seconds. They're inside the 10.
There's a progressive pylon cam showing to the end of that slant and go, but an obvious pass interference and the right call.
It's going to be Tawee Walker's show in the backfield. Holly reporting Marcus Major not available, out of this game. First down. to throw for it. Now he'll take off and knock down at the 3. Texas has timeouts. Will they spend it here?
I think Texas is just going to hope that their defense can hold on here. OU's got to throw incompletions or score. They cannot afford to get tackled inbounds.
Gabriel. Launches touchdown! Nick Anderson! His first catch of the football game. Younger brother of Rodney Anderson, former Oklahoma running back, has put the Sooners on top with 15 seconds to play. Epic drive by Gabriel. We said he's built for this. He delivered.
So often I talk about, look how fired up Gabriel is, man. Good for him. So often I talk about what happens before the play. Well, here's another example of that with Nick Anderson going in motion. Watch the reaction from Texas right in the back as he responds. He calls it off, says, hey, you got him, you got him. Now watch the Texas reaction here once he goes into motion. He said, you got him, I got him? Who has him? I don't have him. And then he's lost. So a miscommunication on the back end from the Texas secondary with that pre-snap movement created doubt and hesitation by Jaron Thompson. They weren't quite sure who had him matched up man-to-man. He sneaks into that back of the end zone. And how about the line giving Gabriel enough time to get that read and make that throw?
You know, Anderson's known as a big play guy. Kirk, his average of 28 yards a catch. It's one of the best in FBS. That's a 3-yard catch that he'll never forget. Gabriel 4 for 4 on the drive. His first touchdown pass of the football game. Gives him a 4-point lead.
You talk about legacies being built in these games. There's still 15 seconds to go, but what a performance and a drive by number 8, Dillon Gabriel, in this Oklahoma offense. Clutch.
They didn't come after him early in the drive. They dropped 8 into coverage. He was able to get the ball out pretty calmly, get the drive going, and crank that tempo.
Again, their system is built, even though you're out of timeouts, they're built for that. We saw it at the end of the first half. We saw it at the end of this game. Jeff Levy deserves a ton of credit for putting this plan together and putting his quarterback in this offense in a position to be able to make those plays late. What a call there at the end. With that motion, create that doubt, and then the touchdown. Let's see if Ewers can make something happen.
Yeah, he needs to get 75 yards into the end zone. Does have a couple of timeouts, but only 15 seconds. They throw it underneath. A short piece. Whittington just wants to get down. Breaks free at the 40 feet. They'll spend a timeout, and now they're in sort of Hail Mary position.
Yeah, a lot of dancing around. I mean, you just got to get north and south in this situation. Every second matters. Just get north and south, get down, and call a timeout. You wonder if you try to, with at least a one timeout, do you try something where you can throw it for 10 or 12 or 15 yards, catch the football, get down, and then it becomes maybe a little bit more realistic if you're at plus 40 as opposed to the ball being at your own 44. I think Sark, with that extra timeout, takes a shot to get a little bit closer before you just heave it up and hope.
Mililani, Hawaii is where Gabriel's from. It's a small town. If you go from Honolulu up to the North Shore, you pass through it. It's a kind of a bucolic setting. He goes from there to UCF, plays 3 years, is going to go to UCLA, gets rerouted to Norman, couldn't play here a year ago. You could write a screenplay about his story alone, but also just about this game. Last play coming up. Can Ewers conjure a miracle?
He's got to, I mean, if he wants to throw it over here, he's got obviously a chance to just get some yards. They can go left.
They'll go underneath there. They use 4 seconds to remain, and the ball's at the 44.
Yeah, there's the call right there. Smart. Sark's now going to use that last timeout. By the way, this is one of those games you want to see the 5th quarter. And it's like with the new Big 12 without the divisions, chances are you're going to get it in the Big 12 championship game.
So you want to see a sequel for both quarters? 20 miles west of here in Arlington?
Yeah, that's right.
West Virginia's in the mix.
Yeah.
West Virginia doesn't play Texas. They do play Oklahoma, but yeah, you wouldn't bet against these two teams being the top two. No division course.
What a battle. What I love about this battle is there's ebb and flow, and it's like, okay, one team's going to pull away. No, this team that faces some tough times and some obstacles and some adversity, they come storming back, and then it looks like they're in control, and then the other side comes back. So, man, what a game to grow from for both these teams.
They used to call it the bronze hat, but that didn't fit. This is OU and Texas, and then they turned it into the golden hat. It's been going since World War II era. It comes off that thing, and it is put on the head.
It's the photos and the social media. It's going to be everywhere.
You've earned the right to put that hat on today if you emerge victorious in Red River Rivalry number 119.
So you got off to the right. You got Mitchell, who's 6'4". Sanders is over there. He's at 6'4". All the OU defenders, or a lot of them, 6 of them, standing on the goal line waiting for the throw.
Ewers hoping for time to launch. They come after him. Does step forward. Hit as he throws. A high ball near the goal line. Broken up. Batted down. Oklahoma wins it. It's an Oklahoma football team coming off a 6-7 season. In year 2 for Venables, he said, I don't know if we're a championship team. We're not there yet. We're taking steps. They took a monster step today as Dillon Gabriel leads him down the field for the winning touchdown. He's with Holly.
Well, Dillon, you took the field with 1:17 to go, a final drive. What did you say to your teammates and to yourself so you could execute on that drive?
We do it every Wednesday. We do it every Wednesday. This is what OU football is all about. This is why I came here. This game. A lot of respect for Texas, man. They played their butt off. Quinn's a hell of a Q. They play really well. So it is what it is. At the end of the day, it's making plays, and Nick made a play, so let's do this.
You made a great play in the red zone. You had to rise up, jump up to make that throw over the offensive line. What did you see, and how did you complete it?
Bay called me last night. He told me do whatever it takes. So you know what I'm saying? I'm all about OU football. I love this place. This is what college football is all about. Let's go.
This is your first time playing in this game. Legends are made in this game. What should they say about Dillon Gabriel and your Sooners after this?
I love my teammates. I love my team. That's always what I've been about, man. And God is good. God is good.
Go enjoy this win, young man.
Thank you.
He's a man of deep faith. Uses the sign of the cross to center himself before he takes the field for every possession. The flag has been planted. The golden hat is in the middle of that humanity in the middle of the field. They'll pass that around like it's the Stanley Cup, right?
This is a cool shot. Look at that. Look at that. Half of the stadium dejected. The other half, pure elation.
Look at every single person left with memories they won't forget.
Yeah. They're going to meet again, more than likely.
Well, thankfully, they're going to meet again in this field for years to come. That will not change as they move to the SEC next season. But you're right. Here in the Dallas area in Arlington is where the conference championship game is. He was so calm with Holly. Now you're seeing a lot of the feisty side of Gabriel.
Yeah. Man, this is... If you watch this one, you'll never forget. We'll be talking about this one for a long time. Texas with the field goal. Looks like they're going to get out of here with a win, and then Gabriel would not be denied as he is with his family. It's awesome.
on this perfect day in Dallas. In addition to this great rivalry, we will not forget. 34-30, Sooners over the Longhorns. Today's game produced by Bill Bonnell, directed by Jimmy Platt. We thank our tremendous crew for dealing with all the technical challenges in the early going. For Kirk Herbstreit, Holly Rowe, Chris Fowler saying so long from the Cotton Bowl. After a break, more football. Virginia Tech and Florida State.